Thomas Show.
Sirius XM 104. This is the Jay Thomas Show. The interesting, the odd, and the bizarre people behind the, interesting. The odd and bizarre stories. Jay gets in it, stirs it up, and spits it out. He's a professional. It's all here on the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover, Julie, Madison, Kevin Meaney, Garrett and Christina, and Ira the Weatherman. This is the Jay Thomas Show.
You're up. All right. Well, now the big news is that Seal and Heidi Klum are done.
No! I'm surprised.
Why?
Because they renewed their vows every year for 7 years. It's a load of shit.
Well, the thing is that...
good for 6 years.
Oh, please.
I say this all the time. You can't have two people that are both thinking about each other all the time, and then they get married. It just doesn't work. Then they have the kids. I mean, I am positive that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie don't see each other that often, and they got the 6 kids and all that. Because when she does a movie or she's helping to save the world, that takes a tremendous amount of time, And then there's a rumor that Seal has a terrible temper. Very bad temper. Are those pock marks on his face from acne? Or somebody told me they were either part of something as a kid he had to do in his village or something. Did you ever hear that one? Yeah. That it was a rite of passage and they put something on his face or whatever. But if these rumors end up being true, it'll be the first time that a seal clubs a human, Garrett. Now, of course, I don't believe he struck her. We just did that as a little joke. Of course, he didn't strike her.
It's from lupus.
Oh, wow. That's so incredibly painful. Man, oh, man. Lupus is the disease that attacks I believe, the sheath around the nerve endings. And it's incredibly painful. And no cure that I know of except, they give you chemotherapy for it.
I think banging Heidi Klum is a pretty good cure.
I would imagine. But I still say this. If you're with someone who wakes up every day, man or woman, and their life is about them, who they are, and what's going to happen to them from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to bed, the people I think that actually have a very good marriage, and I think it's going to go, is Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck, But I think she's kind of pulled back on work and is raising the kids, And
so anytime you see them in the tabloids, they're together as a family in the park.
Right.
Shopping, pushing a car. No, but you don't see any scandal with them, ever.
Right. Trust me. A lot of that stuff is set up. Not that it's bad, but it's like they make a deal with when I did that little movie with Lindsay Lohan, the publicist goes out there and makes a deal with the paparazzi. We'll let you take these shots. We'll let you get close enough to take them, What I remember about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie in New Orleans, they built 3 houses in the 9th Ward. You don't hear much about that anymore. And they built a playground. And so she would drive, not very far, but from their home in the French Quarter to the 9th Ward, and she'd have her kids play on the swings and all that, right? They kept the paparazzi, way far away, and the only thing the guy cared about was when she bent over, you could see her thong. That's the only shot this guy wanted to get. So she would bend over to pick the kids up. And so she had a bodyguard stand behind her at all times, and he would literally maneuver back and forth to cover her ass. And I kept thinking, well, then don't wear that outfit, wear like a muumuu or something, it'd be funny if they dressed in some crazy costume. The kids would think it was funny too, I told you about when Brad Pitt left the courtyard of his home in New Orleans, right? That one of his bodyguard guys, a local guy that I know, said, so we're all in the driveway and you open these gates. It's much like a home like in Greenwich Village or Midtown or whatever, where the home is self-enclosed by walls and by a gate that opens and all that stuff, right? So Brad would ride his bike sometimes. So he would come down, and he would have on whatever outfit he had on and some pork pie hat and the whole deal and sunglasses. And then he would sit on his bike for a moment and get completely ready, like, because the photographers are waiting for him to come out of the gate, right? Mm-hmm. But he would get ready. And then one of his assistants, the gate would open, and they'd push Brad's bike out into the street. Stop traffic. I kept thinking, just get on a fucking bike and go for a ride. It's like, I think if you stop acting, special, I think people will leave you alone. I don't. You see Harrison Ford sometimes in New York with Callista, what is it, Flockhart, whatever her name is, right? He just walks around. Nobody bothers him,
Yeah.
I once saw Sylvester Stallone by himself in a side street surrounded by 4 guys, and he was wearing a white fur coat. Like, you could have seen him, in Google Earth. If you'd.
Did he have boxing gloves on, too?
No, he didn't. No, he did not. But Heidi Klum, they had this big Halloween party. Big Halloween party. And every year, one year she went and her entire body had a henna tattoo of the human nerves and blood vessels and stuff.
That's cool.
That's cool. Did you find that video that I wanted you to run?
Yep.
We're going to open the phones, Christina, at 8884-102-102 for a listener around the horn. Wow. You like that? A listener. Well, I don't know.
I love that.
They stink at it.
They're bad at it? Now, we got to get them on the phone.
Off of us.
Well, we got to get them on the phone so that they don't go on the Internet and get the answer, which is very difficult. Always
you can never be on the phone and the Internet.
Well, I know that, but we're going to try and get people that, maybe want to do it, just for fun instead of just the victory. There's so few victories in life, I would imagine. You always wonder what it would be like to live in other places and you can't imagine living in these places. Can you ever imagine living in Fairbanks, Alaska, Garrett? Ever? In your wildest dreams. Fairbanks.
I can't see it being fun.
You cannot imagine.
No. Is that
Christina,
like a
if you
24 hours a daylight place too?
It can be. It's Alaska. I mean, that's only 6 months out of the year. Then it's like 3 or 4 months of darkness or something. I don't know when the normal time happens. To me, you go someplace and 3 or 4 months it's dark, and 3 or 4 months it's light all the time, and then it's normal. It sounds like you've been sentenced to hell or something, or I don't know what, some odd place.
And just the coldness, I wouldn't want to live there.
Actually, I went skiing in Alaska and went to like a ski resort called Alyeska, and it was kind of normal. It wasn't horrible at all. It wasn't, we're not talking the Arctic. I guess I don't know how cold it got. It was, cool. I don't know where I was. It wasn't a Fairbanks man is accused of illegally trading moose meat for firewood. They arrested him. Chad Gerendale, 41.
That's illegal?
Yes. They arrested him for agreeing to trade 125 pounds of moose meat for 2 cords of firewood.
Wow.
You know what? You could be. I could be alive my entire life, and then So if you ever had to trade moose meat for firewood, no, never happened to me.
What's the legal part of that?
It is illegal to barter game meat in Alaska, except if you're a Inuit or something. I don't know. Or you live in northwest Alaska, the Arctic slope, or the upper Yukon area. So this poor guy went down to Fairbanks, probably the big city, right, with a bunch of moose meat. And he got cold. So he needed some wood. And can you imagine? You're in jail. It's like it's like tearing up,
tag off a mattress?
Yeah, or for a pillow or something like that. You're in there with rapists and murderers. Yes, Christine.
If we're in Alaska and I want to trade Garrett my onion rings for his cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't. You can't. If the burger's made of moose meat, you can't do it. You can't do it. Now, when you're in Alaska or in I want to say, I'm trying to think where I played golf once in Colorado too, and the moose will come down onto the golf course, right? And you can't shoo them or anything. You just have to. The reason why you can't shoo them is they'll charge you. They get pissed off. They're kind of like seal, very upset. They'll come at you. They might have lupus. I don't know. They got those big giant, what are those? The big horns, the big, elk, whatever it is.
Antlers.
And all that. They're flat, though, because they're weird antlers, Mm-hmm. And then, the moose that we love the most, bullwinkle. Oh, what a sweet moose, right? Mm-hmm. Friends with a squirrel and all that. But you can't shoo them because they may charge you. So there you are playing golf. Here comes a moose. And it's your second shot, right? So I lined it up, and I said, hey, what's that? Guy said, that's a moose. We got to stop. I said, throw a rock at it. Oh, God, no. God, no. And, sometimes you wait so long, and by the time the moose walked away on its own, of course, I shanked the shot. You know what I said? Fucking moose. Got to blame it on something, Let's get how many contestants can we put?
As many as we want.
There's John of Ohio. There's Elizabeth of West Virginia. There is George of Oklahoma City. Let's go with those people. I think that's turn the radio down. Turn it down. There's no use hearing yourself on the air. You're not going to sound any good. Turn the radio down, please. Turn it down. John, are you there? John of Ohio?
George.
Who has George? Are you going to turn the radio down, or I'm going to have to dismiss you?
He's got his earpiece up too high.
George?
Yeah, it's down.
All right. George of Oklahoma City, John of Ohio, Elizabeth of West Virginia. Let's add Doug of California. That's a pretty good cross-section of our nation right there.
East to west.
Right. East to west. Too bad we don't have a Canadian. Do we have a Canadian? Nope, sorry. Nope, sorry about that. Let's go to John of Ohio. Let's play a little bit. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jay.
All right. Elizabeth of West Virginia, how are you?
Good.
Have you ever traded beaver pelts for firewood there in West Virginia?
No.
Nah. No.
I've never seen a beaver in West Virginia.
You've never seen a beaver? Well, depends on what clubs you go to. You got to go to the right clubs. Doug in California, where do you live in California, Doug? Doug? Where are they? What are these people doing? It's their big time.
Hello.
Yeah, where are you in California?
Yeah, this is John in California, not Doug.
Oh, now, you know what, Christina? We got John of Ohio, and we have John of California. That's going to fuck things up. All right.
We can still just call him Doug.
Well,
why do we care?
Hey, you know what,
is?
John of California? You're now Doug.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. I'm Doug.
You're Doug. Okay. Now, you've heard the Around the Horn, haven't you, people? You know how to do it?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
What's that, Elizabeth? You don't know how to do it?
I don't know.
Well, what happens is I'm going to play a video, and then I'm going to ask you a question about it, and you're going to have to guess what the answer to the question. That's all there is to it.
All
okay?
right.
All right.
All
Very
right.
simple. By the way, we have Mike of Canada for Around the Horn coming in from Canada right there. Mike, have you ever shooed a moose off of a golf course in your life?
Nope.
You ever traded moose meat for 2 cords of wood?
Nope.
All right.
How big's a cord?
Wow. You know what? There's a measurement thank you very much. It's a 4x8 measurement. Yeah, you cut the wood and you lay it out into a box that's 4x8, Garrett, and that's a cord.
That seems like a pretty shitty deal.
No. What? The moose meat a cord can be, depending on where you live, could be a couple $100, something like that.
Moose is delicious.
It is delicious. I've had moose and elk too. All right, here we go. Hey, have you ever had moose sushi?
I've had moose sausage.
Mooshy?
No, moose sushi. That's where the moose is alive and you just go down on it.
You go down on a moose.
You just get down there and you start licking on it. That's all. That's called moose sushi. I don't know. Just thought of it. Okay. Elizabeth, I know you're glad you're in this contest. All right, here we go. All right, now, Heidi Klum, you know who she is, the supermodel, and she's on that, what's that show, the runway show and all
Project
that.
Runway.
And then Seal, fabulous singer, and he's got the lupus pockmarks on his face. They got married, and it looked like it was going well. During their holiday, their Halloween holiday, they dress. Let's play the interview of them right now. Go ahead, Garrett. Play the interview.
It was like 5-6 hours. It took too long, but it was fun. You know, you never experienced something like that. This prosthetic stuff. It's so hardcore what these artists do. I love that. I was the ambassador for Trick or Treat for UNICEF this year, and I hope that a lot of children help a lot of other children. I think it's great what they do.
All right, that's the Halloween party. It took 5 or 6 hours to get in the costume. John of Ohio, what do you think Heidi Klum and Seal dressed as around the horn for their Halloween costume? What do you think they were? 5 or 6 hours to get into it. What was it?
I have nothing.
Then why the fuck did you call? Why the fuck did you get rid of him? Get the... No! Wait a minute. Wow, it's too late.
Yeah, he gave me the signal.
Now, listen, Elizabeth. You better have an answer, okay? This is a chance to get in the radio. This is what we do.
All right.
What did they dress as? They dressed as the same thing.
Okay, she was kind of evil looking, devilish, kind of
Yeah.
devilish looking.
Yeah.
Am I on the right track?
No. Devilish looking. No, and they're both two devils. No. Listen, I'll never do this again. This is a big mistake. Go ahead, Elizabeth. You know what? Every time I think this job is easy, we open it up to people. We find out we actually have some modicum of talent. Let's go to, now that John of Ohio is gone, we can go to John of California. John, what did they dress as for Halloween?
I believe that they dressed as Darth Vader and what was the other lady's name from there? Not Skywalker.
Oh, you mean like Princess Leia.
Princess Leia, yes.
And it took them 6 hours to get into those costumes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him, please. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Let's go to George of Oklahoma City. Heidi Klum and Seal, they had this costume on 5 or 6 hours. How long did it take? And by the way, we'll put that video up at jthomas.com and all of the horrifying videos of their marriage that's now crumbled. Yes, George, go ahead.
Did she dress as one of the trainers at Marineland, and he was a seal bouncing a ball off his nose?
George, that's the greatest answer. Oh, that's the greatest answer I've ever heard. No, George, but that's a great answer. Thank you very much. Now let's go to Canada, around the horn, with listeners. Yes, Mike of Alberta, what did they dress as?
Seal was dressed up as Senator McCain, and Heidi Klum was dressed up as Michelle Obama.
They were the same, dressed as the same thing, not as... All right. Thank you very much, Mike.
Yeah.
Garrett, have we had enough, or should we go with any more here? Huh?
No one's going to get it.
No one's going to get it.
Was she
What-
green?
Was she what's that, Elizabeth? What did you say, Elizabeth? What?
Was she in green paint? Was it green?
No.
5 hours of green paint.
That was a different
What?
year.
Yeah.
It was
All right.
like a Medusa,
Okay.
and it was a different year.
Yeah, no, this
Sorry.
is no. You know what, Elizabeth? Thank you very much for trying. Thank you so much.
That's the answer.
No, it isn't. It's not the closest answer. There's no. You're so far away, I can't believe it. Thank you. You ready? Let's go to Jay of Detroit. Let's try this. You're around the horn of the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, Heidi Klum.
Jay,
And yeah, Jay, go ahead.
I think I got the answer there, Jay. I think they went as salt and pepper shakers.
They were salt and pepper shakers. I will tell you. I will tell you now that it's almost as bad. They went as monkeys.
Oh, my God. Oh,
I know. I find that to be the weirdest choice. They went as monkeys. It took them 5 or 6 hours. And when you see the video, you've got Heidi Klum with that horrifying, high-pitched German voice of hers. And you've got Seal look so fucking miserable. He sat in a chair. Listen, I put that that Easter Bunny costume on 2 years in a row, and it took 3 or 4 hours to get it on and a couple hours to get it off, and they paid me a shitload of money, and it was still miserable, right? And I did it for 3 weeks, right? It was horrible, and they had to make the costume, and they sat in some chair, for 5 or 6 hours. It had to be awful for them, and they dressed as friggin' monkeys. Do you not find that a little odd, Garrett? Seriously?
Yeah, that's strange. I would have went with the salt, pepper, salt shaker.
The salt and pepper would have been cute.
The girl monkey has boobies.
And the girl monkey has these exposed nipples. You've got to see this ridiculous fucking outfit. I got to tell you, I have a funny feeling that when they got home that night, it might have been one of the nights he went at her, okay? Because when you're in one of those costumes, the hair itches, you are, it is glue. There's glue. By the way, their entire bodies, you are glued up, even if it's glued to like a, like an overshirt or something, or an undershirt or whatever. It is awful. So and you know what? You go to a party with your wife, and you're not going to, meet anybody interesting. You want to leave within an hour. They probably had to stay all night. It's their party. They had to stay all night, dressed as fucking monkeys. All right, thank you very much, Jay of Detroit.
Thank you, Jay. Love the show. Take care.
All right, thanks a lot. So there you go. Garrett, did you not find that unusual that they were dressed as monkeys? I did.
No, why? Why would that be unusual?
I just thought it was a poor choice. That's all.
Why would that be?
Well, there's been insults, throughout, people's lives. It would be like her dressing, in some Nazi outfit or something. I don't know. He looked fucking miserable.
How could you tell, though? His whole face was covered.
His monkey eyes were very miserable. He had little miserable eyes. Unbelievable. It may not have even been sealed. You know what I'm thinking? She probably said it was sealed. It was one of her gay assistants.
You think they had monkey sex that night?
No. You know what? I think these people in the, that are up there, I don't think they have 1/10 the fun that you and Christina and people listening to us have. And the only way I know that is because when you're around them, they're not having any fun when you're around them. And there's always an assistant walking around with a soda can and a straw in it. And they drink out of the soda can or the water or whatever it is, and then they hand it to their assistant. I'm not joking. And I think that's what this person does all day. They bring them their raisins, or they bring them their fruit, or whatever. It's weird. It's an odd, and it's also the person's making like $1,000 a week, to do that. Christina, you'd love a job like that. Kissing the ass of a celebrity and making all the arrangements. You know what? You could actually apply for those jobs. They're available. But they're 24 hours a day. That's the problem.
Yeah, I can't do that.
They call you at 3 a.m, and you got to come over there and sit with them, when their boyfriend leaves and whatever the shit that is. Let's go to Keith of Colorado. Keith, you ever been on a golf course in Colorado? A big moose came up and you couldn't hit the golf ball?
There's not a moose anywhere near Colorado, Jay.
There's no moose in Colorado?
No, sir, but I'd like to have a 5x8 glossy of that monkey and that moose.
I don't know. You know what? I got to tell you, where was I? It was Alaska. It had to be Alaska, and there was a moose, and we were out probably skiing. And the guy said during the summer when the moose get on the golf course, you can't do anything. Where would I have seen a moose? I've never been anywhere else. Colorado, Alaska.
Alaska's got moose, so you're right.
But there's got to be a moose somewhere.
There's moose in Yellowstone.
Yellowstone moose.
Yeah, northern Idaho and Montana have a few, but they're all up in.
Wait a minute. I played golf in Idaho. That's exactly where the moose was.
Okay.
All those states seem the same to me. All right, Keith. Thank you very much.
Great
laughing
show.
at. Thank you. Laughing. You know what? Moose ought to move to Colorado. Okay. Let's go to Ace now, Ace, are you in Fremont, California? Is that the town you're in?
Yeah, that's right, Jay.
Hey, by the way, I never have really read my contract really very much, but the other day I was signing it and stuff, and from a few weeks ago, and I looked at it. Do you know that in my contract it says that I will provide a humorous two-way telephone talk radio show? That's what it says. That's how.
Well, good luck with that one.
Well, I know. Suppose I had decided never to take phone calls. I'd have been. They could have fired me. They could have had tapes of the show and said, "We don't hear any hysterical phone calls."
Well, what if
You're
you
out.
started being funny?
That's exactly right. I thought at first I was going to be a serious commentator. I had no idea that was in there.
Yeah. Complete ignorance. I never read that.
Well, no, you can't say that. You're supposed to read every minute of it. Ace of Fremont, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, how do you stop a moose from charging?
I have no idea. Oh, don't start. Don't with the credit card. Please don't. Get rid of him.
God.
Stop it. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Stop it. Let's go to Andy of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Yes, Andy, it's the Jay Thomas Show. How are you? By the way, I'm announcing right now, I'm not going to the Super Bowl. Nobody invited me to go to the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl. Who would want to go to Indianapolis? Everyone goes, hey, you going to the Super Bowl this year? No, why the fuck would you want? The Super Bowl is supposed to be played at a place that is so different from all the other places that you play football, like Miami, or they ought to have it in Hawaii if they had a big enough stadium, or California, or down in New Orleans, or whatever. They're now going to have them in New York, in New Jersey. When you people end up in the few years coming to New York and spending $9 million for a room and then catching the bus to New Jersey, you're going to be sorry they ever had the Super Bowl. It's not even New York. Where they're going to have the Super Bowl is nowhere near New York.
Come on.
There are no human beings anywhere near that stadium, that shithole stadium in the swamps of New Jersey.
It is a 10-minute bus ride from Port Authority.
You want to know what that traffic's going to be
From
like?
Port
A 10-minute
Authority.
bus ride's going to turn into a 10-hour door.
No,
By the way,
No.
buses get their own
No.
lane in the tunnel. They
Not
can fly right
during
through.
the Super Bowl.
This is what the Port Authority is for. It's for pimps to pick up runaways who become prostitutes from Minneapolis, okay?
Sell them to Lawrence Taylor.
And sell them to Lawrence Taylor upstate. That's exactly what the Port Authority is all. Wait till you go to the Port Authority. Oh, you'll have a great time. My God, the Super Bowl in Indianapolis. Please. Yes, Andy, go ahead.
Well, Jay, you're dead on what you're talking about the Super Bowl. Since you brought that up, the trucking company I work for has a terminal there in Carlstadt, and it's probably 500 yards from the stadium, and they're buying our property for $4 million, and we have no choice.
What stadium? Where is Carlstadt? Where is that?
Right around the corner there from where the football stadium is.
I know. What state?
In New Jersey.
Oh, they're buying up the land. What are they going to for the Super Bowl? They're going to pay millions of dollars to have that NFL experience out there?
They're going to put a hotel on that property in time for the Super Bowl.
Well, you know what else they say?
People
They
rent
also
their houses out for thousands of dollars.
They also say that there's all kinds of, I guess chemicals and all kind of horrible bullshit there, out there in that. Oh, yes.
Stop it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
It's all marshes.
Horrible chemicals or whatever
Well,
Snooki's hands with. Everything
And, of
is
course,
fine.
it's only a rumor, but Jimmy Hoffa is supposed to be in the end zone of Giant
They
Stadium.
dispelled that.
Really?
The Mythbusters went there with...
Oh, right. I guess the mob is going to tell the Mythbusters
No,
where
they went
buried
with, like things that look underneath the ground.
Oh,
and there
please.
was nothing there.
And they're like, oh, you feel that? You feel that? I have
Mythbusters,
goosebumps.
not the ghost hunters.
I have goosebumps.
Hey, hold it 1 second. All of the lime and acid they poured on Jimmy Hoffa, they'll never find Jimmy Hoffa, okay? All right? It'd be like finding Corey Feldman's career, all right? I'm
That's
sorry.
a quick joke for you, Jack.
Yes, go ahead, Andy, yes.
A seal walks into a club.
Yeah. All right, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it right now. All right. Thank you. By the way, more sad news. Halle Berry and her ex-model boyfriend, husband, whatever it was, he pushed the nanny into a wall while she was holding the kid. Now, how many boyfriends and husbands has Halle Berry had? And every one of them, including David Justice, has been either accused of being violent with her or somebody around her. I mean, it's another one. And apparently, she is not, anything close to a nice day at the beach. He He's a 6'4" French Canadian model. The daughter's name is Nala, N-A-H-L-A. Gabrielle yelled at the 5'2" nanny, Garrett. You're a fucking nanny. Who do you think you are? You're a nobody. You don't need to fucking know anything. He said that to the childminder. I'll tell you what, it's rough out there. Then they show Halle Berry going into court, and she's got a broken foot. No one knows how she broke her foot. Garrett, please get the audio of Kim Kardashian with her sister and John Edwards, and they bring...
Oh, it was so good.
They bring the spirit of their dead father back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did the other one bring the spirit of O.J. Simpson up? Because that's definitely O.J.'s kid.
That's where this clip starts off. He asked them about some sort of drowning, and they bring up O.J.'s daughter drowned.
She did? That was a long time ago.
Apparently. They said when she was young.
No, but he was still alive. Kardashian
Robert
was
alive when that happened, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he was. I mean, you're talking 20-something years ago that happened, right?
Right, but weren't the families so close that they did everything together?
Oh, and by the way, that whole group, O.J. and Kardashian and Marcus Allen and all of those guys, and as soon as they would be with the other guy's wife alone, they all hit on each other. I mean, these guys, and these women too, I guess, they were all like just passing each other around, I mean, that was the rumor, right? So it's very possible that, Kardashian had a little thing with OJ, and he, he's like a fruit fly. He wanted to put his seed everywhere, Fruit fly, they're born, and they start looking for a mate as soon as they're born. Can you imagine?
Well, they don't have much time.
They only have 25 days. They come out with a raging heart-on, Garrett. And I've said this before, and it's always amazing to me. They perform cunnilingus to get the woman ready. Fruit flies.
I don't believe this.
That's true. You know what? I'm going to go get the report. Because, I save these things and go, am I ever going to need this? And I put it somewhere. I put it in my fruit fly basket. So, do we have Kim Kardashian?
Hey, let's play the Kardashians.
Now, does John Edwards talk for the dad? How does he do it exactly?
Well, yeah, he connects, and he does it like all other mediums do. They get signals and things that tie the story together. It's not like... Right. He doesn't become Robert Kardashian. He just kind of is the median between Robert and the real world.
See, the medium, not the median. The medium. A median is the middle of the road.
Medium.
Yeah, he's the medium.
What he's going to do is throw out 10,000 ideas, and
no,
hopefully
that's not
one
what
sticks,
happens.
And then once
he
sticks,
predicts a pregnancy, and he's right.
And then I sent you this note, I believe, Garrett. I want to get Kelly Ripa and Kim Kardashian talking to each other about their psoriasis. It was
I didn't get that.
Well, whatever.
I watched that too.
But I want to ask you a question, Christina, after we hear both of it, and it's something that Garrett and hell, I think you and Shuley taught me this, but I was listening to it the other night, and I think we have a little conspiracy here. Do you
Wait, we taught you something?
Garrett and Shuley taught me this.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Garrett?
Good.
I don't think so.
Really, you didn't get any of my. You know what? I'm so bad. I tried to share like 5 things with you last night. You didn't get any of it.
I got those. I got. Let's see.
What do you mean share? Were you on Facebook?
No. I was sending stuff off the internet. I work on the show.
No, I know, but when you say share, that means Facebook.
I hit a button and says share, and I put Garrett's email in it. Sometimes I do it for you too.
I got the seal.
Yeah, I got some big ass picture from you.
Oh, it's so funny. The big ass picture's funny. I said it was Kim crossing the street, right?
Yeah.
So what do we have of Kim Kardashian? Well, you know what? We'll take a break and come back. By the way, Henry Winkler, when you're a bored actor, what do? You write a children's book. And he's got a children's book. I've known him for a long time. I call him the Fonz. I never call him Henry.
Well, this is his second series. His first series was a huge success.
Did you ever read one of his children's books?
Never.
I need to write a children's book.
Seems like the easiest.
Why Daddy Hits Mommy.
Didn't you have one yesterday you were working on? The red paper and the blue triangle.
What?
You went through this whole thing yesterday.
Oh, the names of the books.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're always weird. I hated Dr. Seuss for this also when I was reading. I'd be reading going, oh, God, Jesus, please. The name of my book would be The Round Square. That's right, The Round Square. The other one would be The Meowing Puppy.
Wow.
And it's always stuff that can't really happen in real life, right?
Is this a children's book?
Yeah, these are my children.
Oh, okay.
Here's one. The Tree That Shit in the Woods. That's right.
What about a fat kid that's a loser? He's a round square.
There you go. Round
You're
Square.
a bully.
And then you open the book up, and it's all about this fat kid that's a loser. Oh, that's nice. That's a good one. Page 1. Well, I'm getting the shit beaten out of me in the 4th grade. You know.
Chapter 3, wedgies.
You know,
Over
a real children's book. You know, and the book only has eyes in it because kids are scared of eyes. So you open the book and there's these big eyes, and the first page goes boo. You know. When you see eyes in the dark, you're right. It's bad. I love sitting. They would be kid be sitting in your lap. You got the little book in front of you. They stare at this page with this picture and 4 words on it, like they're reading Shakespeare, right? So you go. So the kitty was drinking the milk, and they show the kitty drinking the milk. You try and turn the page and you go, no, let me see kitty, Daddy. So you look at the kitty. What's that word there, Daddy? I go, milk. Milk. The kitty was drinking the milk. You go to turn the page, and the kid goes, no, Daddy, I'm not finished looking. And so, for God's sakes, oh, for God's sakes, you know. Then your leg starts to itch or sweat or something, you know. Or you smell like they're piss or they're shit in their pants. While you're look. It was torture. And I kept going. I wanted to stretch them so they could become bigger and drive, you know. I told my wife once, they were both 6 and 4. I said, look, we don't need to leave the house. Everything they need is here. We don't need to go to anybody's home. We don't need to ever go. I took one of my kids. It took like an hour to get to the beach in L.A. He screamed all the way to the restaurant. Then, of course, threw everything all over the restaurant. And then when we got back in the car seat, screamed all the way home. I never took him to a restaurant again.
No
Till
way.
he was like 9. Yeah.
My parents were the same way. I
never
was
again.
removed from any hostile situation.
He didn't care. I took him to a friend's restaurant, and my friend taught him how to crack an egg. And then we started bullshitting, and my son cracked and put 35 eggs into a bowl before we got back. It was crazy. I said, what are you going to do with that? He goes, shit, I don't know. He says, I'm going to make something with eggs. I can tell you that right now. So, all right, we'll be back. Wait till you hear John Edwards talking to the Kardashians' dead father, and then we'll hear the large-assed idiot on it's just Kelly now.
Live with Kelly.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Is it ever going to have a co-host?
Yes. Right now it's the week of all the women. Today was Mary J. Blige. Tomorrow, Kristen Chenoweth.
Mary J. Blige, a buddy of mine, was her attorney, right? Mm-hmm. And so we go to dinner with him one time, and Mary J. Blige hugs my friend, this old Jewish man, and goes, hey, this here's my nigga. This here's my nigga. And I turn to my friend, Paul Marshall, this 75-year-old Jewish guy, and he goes, I've never been anyone's nigga before. Yeah, I'd love to have her on with Kelly. Hey, Kelly, never let your old man, put it in your shit shack? I'd love fucking Mary J. Blige to be, that would at least be real. It would be fun, By the way, next to Kim Kardashian, Kelly Ripa looked like an old hag to me. Did she not look haggy to you, Christina? Kind of beat up looking?
She looked a little weathered, but that's because but they talked about that because of all they were piling on the body makeup.
What?
Kelly was uncomfortable sitting next to Kim because Kim is so voluptuous and sparkly, and so they poured on some body makeup all over Kelly. And Kim had the body makeup on because of the psoriasis.
Oh, that's right. She's got this horrible psoriasis.
That's all
everywhere.
she talks about. It's her only real problem in life.
It's awful, by the way, psoriasis.
Right, but it's the only thing that she, and plus, she's a millionaire.
Without her clothes on.
I don't want to hear her complain about anything.
Without her clothes on and the psoriasis and that ass and those boobs unleashed and not having the elastic holding them up, that's got to be a fucking hot mess to look at, I can tell you that.
I'd look at it.
You'd like to look at that? Big hot mess? All right, we'll be right back. I don't think I've ever heard any other song but this by Seal, ever. He's got a great voice. Have you ever heard another Seal song?
Is this the one from Batman? Yeah, I guess that's it.
And Crazy.
Crazy? I'd like to hear another one. Yeah.
Okay. Go Crazy. That's a good one.
That's a good one, Go Crazy. So his career's doing well. Christina, he does well. Concerts.
I guess.
Let me hear this.
That song?
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was him.
Sounds like the opening to a magic show in Las Vegas.
It sounds like the show that I should walk into the room and it should be playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, it's like Cirque du Soleil music.
Yes.
It's meaningless. You buy that Cirque du Soleil CD, you get it home, you go, this is shit. While you're watching it, it's great, All right.
You didn't even hear the chorus yet.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the hook.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like the other song. That's a good one. Sounds like the other one, though. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. That's Seal. All right. Let's hear now this is John Edwards. John Edwards is calling up Kardashian's dead daddy. Okay. And O.J. Simpson's daughter's right next to her. Why didn't they bring the other daughter with them?
Because it's Courtney and Kim take New York. So they were just living in New York together, and it worked out that way.
It's funny. The biggest asshole in the world is still with the guy that's dating or married. Was it the other one?
Who, Chloe and Lamar or Courtney and Scott?
Scott.
He's coming out looking like a great guy in this episode.
He's a huge asshole, and no one leaves him. I love it.
He's not an asshole, and everybody feels bad for him now because Courtney's turning out to be the asshole.
Okay.
He's like, I want to spend time. She's
really?
Like, get the fuck away from me.
Let's listen to the calling up John Edwards. What a fucking shyster.
Okay. Two things. One, would your dad have the connection to a person who drowned? Or does he know the person who lost a child in the drowning?
I mean, O.J. Simpson's daughter drowned when she was really 3 or 4.
Did he know?
That was his best friend.
So he would know that girl?
I mean, yeah.
That person is here. He's also making me feel like there's a joke about either a joke about a mole, scar, or tattoo on the inside thigh. I don't know if he had surgery there, if there's something about that, but there's something about the inner part of the like his skin.
His groin, remember? Oh, yeah. He totally tore his groin muscle when he was skiing.
And was there a conversation that you guys had about, the scar?
I think everyone made fun of him.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you know the big paintings that okay. Okay.
Every year he was Santa.
Okay.
And would
Okay.
Oh, God, it's ruined.
What happened?
Video fucked up somehow.
We have to start from the beginning.
So, this guy kind of throws back at them stuff that we could have found out on the internet.
No, you couldn't have found out that Courtney.
Well, I knew that O.J. Simpson had
pictures. Yeah, but the pictures in her house that would belong to him, and one of them's a burst of color. Nobody would know that.
Paintings that like Andy Warhol used to. I think Andy Warhol used to do the different color paintings. Do you have one of those that was his?
I have like 2 big paintings of his in my house.
Big?
But they're not like Andy Warhol, but they're big.
But big?
Yeah.
Is one of them vibrantly colored?
Yeah.
Okay. He's just showing
that's a shocker.
Big painting as to connect it to you.
Yeah.
I also feel like, I don't know if he dressed up as a character, if there's a joke about this, or...
Santa Claus. Maybe Santa Claus.
Did he do it?
Wow. Every year he was Santa.
Okay.
And would like come to the house.
Now, who was 3 years old or 4 years old when he passed? Was somebody like 3 or 4?
Yeah, Kylie was like 4.
Okay. Did he have a special kind of connection to her? Like,
she had a really crazy dream about my dad, like really intense, like where she called. Didn't she call you crying? Yeah.
But that's not her dad, right? It's your dad. The week before he passed, did you see him?
Mm-hmm. We both did.
Did you barge in?
We did. Remember she wouldn't let us in the house? Mm-hmm. And my mom and I, we had Courtney or someone go with him to the hospital, and we had them leave the door open a little bit, and then we came in after. And then remember we called her and we're like...
So he's not seeing anything. They're just telling him, right?
We're going to see him.
Exactly. That's how it works every time.
Right.
Well, no, because what happens at first is that you get this whole, like, I just want to make sure that you know that it's me, that I'm here. So I'm going to bring up all of these things. And then at the end, it's, did you learn from the divorce? And Courtney winds up being pregnant, and they're going to say something about Chloe, and then he even says that Chloe's had trouble, but he's...
So you believe that John Edwards talks to dead people?
Yes, I do.
You are dumber than you look.
I worked with a psychic for over a year. I saw
Mary O from Long Island.
Don't you remember? I have 2 readings on this show with
psychics.
Shar and Psychic Susanna, and they were both dead on.
They weren't. They just say stuff, and then you agree with it and tell them all the facts.
Balls accurate.
God,
why couldn't they tell John Edwards if the person was 3 or 4?
Hey, listen.
What?
That's like believing... Hey, wait a minute.
Just signals that you're getting...
Wait a minute.
But why are they so blurry?
You also believe that Tracy Morgan fainted at Sundance from exhaustion and altitude sickness?
I knew he was high, but I don't know about if it was altitude.
I know. Oh, yeah. And as he's going to the hospital, he's yelling, "Don't tell him I'm drunk. Don't tell him I'm drunk." So. Well, now, would you go to, when we come back, I want to listen carefully to Kelly and to Kim on the show, and then I'm going to say the thing that you and Shuli taught me. Okay? All right, buddy.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening of a Friday night.
No, wait a minute. This is a remake. That's Seals and Crofts.
Yeah, this is his first band.
No, it isn't. Different people.
Oh.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Stop it. But it does sound like him, I'll admit that. Okay, let's listen to Kelly Ripa and Kim Kardashian on the Kelly Only by Herself Without the Old Fart Show. That's the new title.
Now, I have the whole segment here, apparently. So
I want to just hear the voices for a few moments.
And Kim Kardashian.
This crowd, they are so excited. Happy Monday, everybody. It's January 23rd, 2012. My co-host today really doesn't need any introduction, Kim Kardashian.
Can you spin it forward so there's not all that yelling, just talking?
With one exception. A hopeless romantic.
Here we go.
I wanted to believe in something so badly, but if you really think about it, if this was a business decision, and I really made all that money that everyone was claiming that we made off this wedding, and if the wedding was, fake and just for TV, I'm a smart businesswoman. I would have stayed married longer. This was a bad business decision. You know what I mean? So if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense that everyone says that.
Yeah.
So I really didn't think that following my heart would create this much backlash.
Yeah.
You know?
But when you're watching the shows now, is it, I mean, do you watch, can you watch it? Is it painful?
You know what? I watch it back because I think that, you know.
Okay, stop it right there. Christina.
Yes.
Do they not sound like two women that are younger than they really are? Don't they sound like little girls?
No, I don't think so. I think that they're just...
Your voice is twice as deep as both of those voices. Both. Garrett, you and
really
Shuley, you and Shuley once said to me that Dr. Drew used to do a thing on Loveline, right?
Yep, Loveline.
Where when a woman called up and had the little girl's voice and she was like like in her 20s or 30s,
yeah.
what would they do? They would make a they would bet.
Yeah, he would just, she'd be talking about her boyfriend beating her or something, and he would say, hold on, I'm going to say you were abused as a child. And Adam Carolla would bet, and he would always win.
Because when a woman with a child's voice, it's like they have this horrifying thing happen to them, and then they get kind of stuck at that time or something, right?
No.
Psychologically.
Yes.
Kelly Ripa and Kim Kardashian were not abused as children.
We're not saying
How do you know? Oh, you know them that well?
You don't think that would have come out already?
Not until she needs another
they've
quick
all included
million.
Their entire families. You know who Kelly Ripa's family is? Joe Ripa, her father. Come on.
Yep. Who's that?
Her father.
Who's Joe Ripa?
Joe Ripa is Kelly Ripa's father.
How do you know? They sound like little girls to me. I believe Adam Carolla.
This time is coming out of those times. All the clubs are being closed down.
Well, we're going to be talking to Henry Winkler, who, God, I've known as long as I've been doing this, I guess. Is Henry with us yet? Henry!
Jay.
How are you, man?
I'm happy as a lark talking to you.
Well, I always, by the way, I'd like you to meet Christina, is a huge fan of
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Christina.
You smell fantastic. I've
You
met
know
you
what?
once
It's,
before.
It's Hermes. Am I allowed to say that?
Amazing, whatever it is.
You can say whatever you want to say. You spray that on you. Where do you?
Chosen scent at the moment.
Where do you put it exactly?
You think of a place, it's been there.
All right. By the way, Henry Winkler, of course, you know him from television and the movies. And what's funny is people don't realize it, and I worked for you for a time. You produced Dead Man's Gun, did you not?
I did.
The TV show Dead Man's Gun. And then what's the quiz show?
Oh, my gosh. We did for 2 years. We had the greatest time doing Hollywood Squares.
That's right. I did that, too. So you always bring me in, not right away, but you always bring me in eventually.
Well, we get to you eventually.
You do. You do. When you
got to get down to the T's.
Yes, you do.
If you change your name to Abel, you're right up there in the first one.
Now listen, you how do you decide to become a children's book writer? The new book, Henry Winkler, Ghost Buddy is his new one, Zero to Hero. How do you decide that that's what you need to do with your life?
You know what? That is a great question. That came out of the blue.
Yeah.
You could have knocked me over the feather. Somebody said, "Why don't you write books for kids about your learning challenges?" And
your personal,
my partner.
What's wrong with you? What's your learning challenge?
I have dyslexia.
Wait, you never get over that? There's nothing you can take?
Over it. You learn to negotiate it.
So when you look at a sentence,
yes,
the letters move.
I can't add. I can't spell. I can't even sound the word out. I don't have the ability. So we wrote 17 novels about a little boy, Hank Zipser, who is dyslexic. And then Lynn and I said, okay, now we're going to write a new series. And so we wrote Ghost Buddy, which is about a little boy, Billy Broccoli, with a blended family, moves into a brand new house, first night in his new bed, can't go to sleep, finds out that his closet is inhabited by Hoover Porterhouse III, or better known as the Hoove, a ghost who's been living in this closet for 99 years.
Now, if I told my kids, which are they're big guys now, that there was a ghost living in the closet, they would be in therapy by dawn. Okay, So now, how did the kid? How did? No, I don't want to ruin your book tour.
Well,
but how do we manipulate? How do we do this?
Very funny.
Well, I'm sure it's funny, but a ghost. It's not.
Well,
it's like Casper.
It's
like
the
Casper.
Story of Richie and Fonzie, because the ghost can only leave the house once he has helped Billy Broccoli, this young fellow, to meet his potential, and the ghost is irresponsible.
So the ghost is Fonzie.
The ghost is Fonzie.
And the little boy is Richie.
The little boy is Richie.
Wow.
And so I walked around Lynn's office for 3 months, and I said, "Hey, Billy Broccoli, get over here."
Oh, Jesus Christ. If they make this into a film, please throw Donnie Most a bone, would you please? And
Of
get
course
him in the
I
movie.
will.
You know what?
I love Don. He's a good friend of mine.
He was always one of my favorites, and I was always disappointed.
Did you identify with him?
I just liked him as an actor, and I was always surprised, he didn't, work more after the show was over.
But he just did a stint on Glee where he played somebody's dad. I forget which character's dad, but he was terrific.
And we had Anson on here, but it wasn't a positive
It wasn't.
thing. No, he was suing the studio over the money from the slot machines and the and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said kind of a snide thing about you. And
he did.
He said that they didn't join in the lawsuit. I said, well, they had better agents and lawyers, and quit being a baby. Didn't I say that, Garrett? Or did I say something bad about Henry?
No, you didn't say anything bad about me.
I didn't. So now you write these books.
I do.
And then the little kids buy them. What age are they for people that are
7
listening?
to 14.
7 to 14 years. Do you still live in that house in Studio City?
No, I don't. I moved from there in 1980. But
No.
You're on top of it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That house on the corner with the yard.
Oh, I never lived there.
You know what? I'll tell you why.
I never lived there, and I never squashed the rumor either.
Because I used to go to a friend's house, and they said, Henry Winkler, and they'd point to this house, but it was so wide open, I thought, gee, I bet you people would come up to his door or say stuff, because it just had like an open kind of a front yard.
Yeah, I'm sure people went there all the time.
Up there above Barham. Oh, you never lived there?
No, never.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because some guy a couple of blocks away always said you lived there, and we were so impressed because, you were right out there, without any
always had a gate.
You always had a gate.
Yeah, the gate was open on Halloween. I loved it when the kids were little, that all the kids would come, and we gave so much candy away. We ran out of candy. I started giving furniture.
You gave furniture to children?
I did. I gave little settees to children. If they came in twos, they could carry like a sofa.
Now, we have so many people that played a character like you did and then had trouble getting out of it. You, of course, were able to act and everything else. After it was over, of course, you're wealthy beyond your wildest dreams.
Yes,
but you no
longer have a daughter with a credit card.
Yeah, but you don't want to be Fonzie anymore. How long when you would go in and try and be something else, how long did it take?
It took a long time, Jay. But what I did was I started to direct, and I produced MacGyver and Sightings and and a lot of other stuff, and then gradually got back. And we just finished last Friday. We finished the 4th season of Children's Hospital.
Oh, that's on what cable network is it?
The Cartoon Network.
On the Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it's the first live-action show. It'll be on in May again.
Right. Well, me, I would have, if I'd had your success, maybe I'd have been in radio, but I would have never even gone on another audition as long as I lived, ever.
Yeah, but I still loved what I did.
How dare they judge me?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't be angry. As a matter of fact,
I'm angry.
That I live by
what are they?
Are tenacity and gratitude. Tenacity gets you where you want to go, and gratitude doesn't let you be angry along the way.
You've known me a long time. I've always felt that I was held back by I don't know who the forces are, but it almost seems
you mean
like
the industry held you back?
Has anyone ever sat you down and said, this Jay Thomas, we're holding him back?
Nobody has ever said that to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I said that to my agent once. He said, "You think the president of a network says your name and decides personally that they don't want you on the show?" I go, "Yes, I do." He goes, "You know, Jay, that must be a wonderful life to live, to think that there are people in high places that are trying to stop you." You know?
Now, who is Christine? Can we talk about Christine?
Christina is a young woman. Now, listen to this. You ought to write this story.
Okay, listen.
She was a young woman that always wanted to be in radio, right, Christina?
Right. Yep.
And was married to a guy, and you told the guy your dream, and what did he say to you?
You can't do that. You can't
Can't
move
do
to
that.
New York City.
Right.
And where were you married and where were you living?
Married in Pennsylvania.
And now, are you still married to that man?
No.
So that was the first healthy choice you made.
And got into radio, and now works for me and another morning left-wing radio show.
Well, wait a minute. That is so. I think that is just fantastic.
Thank
It
you.
is. Yeah.
I mean, you know, but that is the name of living. It's a matter of you. If you will it, it is not a dream.
That's right. Put it out there into
And
the
you did it.
universe.
Oh my God! I don't
If
even
you
know
will
you, and
it-
I love you. I'm so
Oh,
proud of you.
I love you back.
If
I'm
you
not
will
kidding.
it, if you will
Hey,
it,
I'm talking to Christine.
Jay, step
I'm
aside.
going to quote now from the Song of Solomon.
Okay.
Strengthen me with raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am faint with love.
There you go.
That's from the Song of Solomon.
That has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
No, I know, but I happen to have
He's
it here.
the main host, Henry.
By the way, if you have children from 2 to 7, Henry Winkler's book.
No, 7 to 14.
Oh, right. Ghost Buddy #1, Zero to Hero. Or if you've never had the Hank Zipzer books, there's how many of them? 40 of them?
There are 17 of those.
17 of those. And then you write with Lynn Oliver. Now, does Lynn just type the books or?
Oh, no. We literally, now, it is
You're
true
together?
that Lynn sits at the computer.
Right.
And I start talking and she types. Then she has an idea. She types. I wait. Then she reads it back to me. I listen. And then we argue over every word. And for about 3 months at a time, that's the way we write a novel, and we rewrite the novel, and we do notes from the publisher, and we got on the New York Times bestseller list.
But you're writing for dumb kids. Why would you take so much time?
Holy mackerel.
Well, they're dumb kids. I have children.
Would you wash this man's mouth out with soap?
Absolutely.
Listen, it's got to be.
It's got to be done.
It's got to be easier to write for kids than it is to write for grown-ups.
Jay.
What?
You don't mean that.
I do. I mean every word of it.
You love your children.
I do love them, but
They're
when
not
I was
dumb.
reading books to them,
I can't even continue the conversation.
Well, yes, you can.
About dumb kids. Kids are brilliant.
No, they're stupid.
In this country, we talk about children and we do nothing for them because they don't vote.
Well, that's the same for the homeless.
For the homeless?
The homeless have no
that's
constituents.
probably true, too.
I'd like to gather all the homeless up and put them in a stadium and then register them to vote. Then I would run as their king.
Yeah.
That's what my plan would be.
You know what? You would be a great king.
I would be a good. No, but what I mean is that you sit with your kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Can I be the scribe?
No, you sit with your children.
Yeah.
And you read these books.
Yeah.
I was, where the what was the name of my book, Garrett? The round
square.
The round square or the square ball.
Yeah.
You also had one about a tree in the woods.
That's right. A tree shits in the woods.
You
That was
don't
the other.
remember your book?
Well, no one bought them. A tree shits in the woods was the name of my children's book.
And there you go.
Well,
there you go. Change the title. You might sell one.
It's all the jokes. Well, Henry, look, good luck with book number 18 or whatever it is.
But you know what? I'm so proud of Ghost Buddy because it's a funny book, and children, reluctant readers read, and their parents walk by their room and they're laughing, and it's a pretty great feeling.
Now, is there a bully in the book? Because that's
There is
big
a bully in the book.
Being bullied.
Yeah. That's
Were
why
you
I
bullied
can
as a
honestly
kid?
say that it's based, it's underpinned by bullying.
Yeah, because you played a tough guy, but in real life you're kind of a thin, wispy individual.
Yes,
and
it's true.
Were you bullied?
I am literally moved from place to place by the wind.
No. I mean, you played a character that was much tougher than you are.
That is the truth.
in real life.
Except that, like Christina, I've got a tough inside.
Right. Were you bullied as a child?
I was.
And
I was always nervous. I was you can think of a bowl of Jell-O when you think of me as a child.
And so you're writing about your childhood. Do you use any of the names of the people that bullied you? It's like in your own head, use the names of the horrible people?
No, I don't use the names, but I do picture them, yes.
When you became really wealthy...
But where are they now, Jay?
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to go back. Well, I actually did it because I was able to do it, though, when I got to be about 17.
Yeah.
I went back, and in one summer, nobody wants to hear this story. I went back and beat every guy that had ever fucked with me.
Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. It took me the entire fucking summer. The phone was ringing off the hook. I got muscles, and I started boxing and was playing football. I just matured, and I would go back to these. One guy was sitting on a swing at a playground.
What was his name?
His name was Craig, and he had teased me and pushed a basketball in my face and all this stuff. I hit him off of that fucking swing, and he landed, and it rained, and he landed in a little puddle behind the swing.
There you
like
go.
that. Oh,
I had a completely different experience. There was a kid who told me that I was not as good an actor as he was. I would never make it. And when I got to Hollywood, honest to God, when I got to Hollywood, I got an apartment, my first apartment, and I needed to buy a lamp. And I went to Crate and Barrel, and I bought the lamp from this guy.
Oh, my God. How did you know he worked at Crate and Barrel?
Say that again?
How did you know he worked
I didn't. It was fate. I'm telling you, this guy was merciless to me about how I was never going to make it. And I got on Happy Days, and I had enough money to buy a lamp for the coffee table, and I bought it from this guy.
I tell you what, I love stories.
Large, Jay.
I love stories of revenge.
Yeah, me too.
I love them. So.
Me too. That's why I like the TV show Person of Interest.
Well, that's really what all these cop shows are. At the end, the cops get revenge.
Yeah.
On all the.
What about
the
evil. Show Revenge?
That's right. That's a big show.
Revenge.
I watched that. It's good.
That's a big show.
I like Homeland. I like The Good Wife. And did you ever see The Boss or Boss?
Kelsey Grammer.
On Showtime. Kelsey Grammer.
It got great reviews, but I never saw it.
Let me tell you, it's going to come back again. It's outrageous. And this is how great Kelsey Grammer is as an actor. He has read Ghost Buddy.
You're such an idiot. Henry Winkler, the author of Ghost Buddy #1 Zero to Hero. I am a huge fan of Eastbound and Down with Danny McBride.
Oh, right.
Playing the failed... Oh, you just went, oh, right. You've never even seen it, have you?
No. I saw it once, and I thought, what the hell is this show?
Keep watching it. You'll love it.
Okay.
You'll love it. Hey, Henry, great hearing from you. We've known each other forever.
It is always a pleasure to have a conversation with you.
Always. And you know me, I never leave radio, no matter how much acting people think I ought to be doing. I'll never leave this radio.
I understand that. And Christina, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You're going to have your own show pretty soon?
Oh, I can only hope so. Now that you put it out there, it's definitely going to happen.
I think so.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Henry.
The great Henry Winkler, the children's book is about the little ghost that
Ghost Buddy, Jay.
Ghost Buddy lives in the closet, and it's really...
No, he doesn't live in the closet. He is a ghost. He's not in the closet.
Yeah.
He's not coming out of the closet.
Well, I haven't read the book.
Zero to Hero.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Hey, Henry Winkler, thank you.
What a pleasure.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
How much do I love him?
How about that I
he's
thought
proud
for
of
years
me.
he lived in this house, and I would drive people by and go, you know who lives there? Henry Winkler. See that? He doesn't have a gate around his house and all this stuff. Never lived.
Was that fact true? No.
He never lived there. Never. I like people calling up, go, Dave of San Diego. This
I know.
Is my favorite. Hey, stupid. Did you think I was going to take your call? You were going to ask Henry Winkler to what? Go, hey, like that?
Yeah, he would have loved it.
No, he wouldn't have.
I wanted to ask him. I had a bunch of questions for him.
Like, I'll answer them. Go ahead.
All right. I wanted to know how a little nebbish Jewish kid became the coolest person on TV.
It's called acting. That's it. It's called acting. You know what? It's like they have Marky Mark, who's like 5'2", and he beats people up in the movies. You know. Okay. It's like when they have Uma Thurman, you know, in Kill Bill, beating people up. Her legs were so slow. By the time she got her foot up to her waist, you could have stabbed her 5 times. That's how slow she was. You know, it's the fucking movies. It's why in every movie, Tom Cruise beats up big, giant guys, right? It's all bullshit. It's all fake.
You blow your world, Dave.
You know the show I really liked? There was kind of an overweight Chinese guy that had a show for about a year or two, and he was a karate guy. And I think he was on CBS. And he would beat people up. I don't even know if he spoke English that well.
Jake and the Fat Man?
No, not that one. Can you imagine going to William Conrad and you go, well, we got a new show for you. What is it? Jake and the Fat Man. He goes, really? Who's going to play the fat man? You know, because no one thinks they're fat, right? That's it. All right, Dave. Thank you. That's actually from my old stand-up act. Let's go to Terrell of Indianapolis. Yes, Terrell, go ahead.
Jay?
Terrell?
Yes.
Maybe it's Terrell.
Terrell.
It's Phil.
It's Phil.
Whoops.
Christina.
Phil from Indianapolis.
Phil from Indianapolis, not Terrell.
P-H-I-L, Phil.
Thank you. Good God
It's a little
almighty.
muffled. Do you hear the muffle?
No, I don't hear the muffle. I don't hear Terrell. I hear Phil. You know. Listen. Here's what I hear. I don't hear. Okay. You know what? You're a dyslexic hearer. You can't hear sounds. Yes, Phil. Go ahead.
I wanted to tell you, Jay, you're wrong about Indianapolis, and you should get a Super Bowl ticket and come. This town knows how to throw a party, and I'm telling you, it is going to be one of the best Super Bowls ever. And I'm from Pittsburgh. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and I've lived here for 30 years, and they have been planning for this Super Bowl since the day they got it. And I'm telling you, there are dozens of restaurants, sports bars. They got a 16-screen movie theater downtown.
You know what? That's all. Look, no, hold it. When you go to Miami or you go to California or you go to New Orleans, the weather is warm. And you go outside, you go to the beach or whatever. I'm sure, listen, a lot of towns are great now. Great cities have been, made out of nothing. I agree with you. But Charlotte, North Carolina, where I have my office, is a great place. And I guess they'll have a Super Bowl there one day also. But I want to be someplace totally different. You go to Miami, there's half-naked women running around. You go to New Orleans, there's drinking and gambling
Here.
Oh, boy.
They got 2 casinos within 20 minutes of one another, north and south.
You don't want
2 casinos with racetracks. Horse racetracks.
No, that's, you know what I mean. You want exotic. Indianapolis is not exotic.
But your biggest complaint, and I've been listening to your show for a while, for the past 2 Super Bowls, is there's no place to eat and no place to drink within walking distance
of the stadium.
There are so many places downtown Indianapolis, it'll boggle your mind.
I'm sure you could have a drink and have a nice time, and I'm sure there are nice restaurants and all that other stuff, but you go back to your hotel room and you're still in Indianapolis.
What food item is Indianapolis known for?
What is Indianapolis known for? What would be a special food I should lead? Well, let me do
My daughter took me to this Brazilian steakhouse. And I've never seen anything like it. The salad bar is like a buffet and dessert bar, but they have this like a red card and a green card. You turn the green card
we got
up.
90 of those here.
Oh, that's just wonderful, though.
What is it now? Wait a minute. Hold it.
It's a meat.
The meat comes on sticks, and then you say you want more or you don't want more.
You leave the green up, and then once you're full, you flip it over to red so they don't have to come.
Wait a second. That's the restaurant you want me to go to where they give me a card and I flip it for my meat?
They are really good.
What is that place?
It's a Brazilian
steakhouse?
Brazilian steakhouse.
Well, you got to take me there, Garrett. I've never been to one of
But
those.
they always come around with like the chicken hearts and the beef liver, like twice as much as the fillet. And
I don't want that. You don't want that. That's like going to.
It is good though.
Now, Phil, but
you asked me for one restaurant.
No. What is Philadelphia? Excuse me, Indianapolis known for food-wise? Not a foreign food or whatever, but a quintessential Indianapolis, Indiana food.
Like New York and pizza, or the Philly cheesesteak,
or Louisiana and gumbo, or let's say Los Angeles and the hamburger. It's the only good food in all of Los Angeles.
No, you caught me.
Indianapolis does not have like a corn on a stick or something like that.
Ooh.
Nothing.
I'm sure I do, but I can't right now. My mind went blank. I can't think of anything right now.
All right.
But
well, Phil, you know what? You're a great ambassador for Indianapolis. You've called up. You've actually, I'm sure you were shaking in your boots that you were going to be facing off with me verbally. I can't imagine. I can't imagine as a normal human being calling up and getting into my lair the way that I can maneuver.
No, sir.
I'm
not at all trying to be contrary to.
I am like a vicious thesaurus that can just tear you up at any moment. So
I'm a truck driver and I listen every day. I'm an avid listener.
Phil, you must have been frightened to death to call up here.
J. Roger Thomas.
That's right. Thank you, Phil of Indianapolis.
Thank you.
Everybody, there's a restaurant you go to and you lift the cards up and the meat's waiting for you.
In a big salad bar.
Now we're going to get all the Indianapolis people. Certainly you know what I mean, don't you, Garrett? I even think it's dumb to have the Super Bowl in New York. It's going to be freezing cold.
Yes, I do too.
You're going to be taking this bus out to New Jersey, which I think is total bullshit. There are no restaurants in that area.
Nothing.
None.
The Vince Lombardi rest stop is the closest thing.
That's it. There's nothing out there. Yeah,
I was just going to say, but there's a Roy Rogers there, so it's okay.
Yeah. And it's the same thing in Dallas. It was horrible. And by the way, getting into the stadium, the security check took us over an hour and a half, and we saw famous ex-football players, going into the stadium, standing in line with us, waiting for an hour and a half to get in. Oh, the security, you know what? I don't remember it that way. Maybe it was that way in New Orleans. I don't know. I don't remember. But wow. Let's go to Patrick of Indianapolis. Yes, Patrick, go ahead. What is the quintessential food that when people go to Indianapolis, give me one of those great Indianapolis what?
Breaded tenderloin.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm seeing it here on the internet.
You take the tenderloin of beef, they beat the shit out of it with a mallet, they bread it. It's kind of like a southern fried steak, Patrick?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, a breaded tenderloin now. You make it into a sandwich, or is it just on the plate?
It's on a bun, with pickles and lettuce and tomatoes.
Jesus.
And mayonnaise.
Do you know anything about elephant ears?
Yes, of course.
What is that?
That's what you get at the state fair.
What is it? It doesn't just
is it
says
like
the
a
name.
doughy
fried
thing?
dough. Yeah, it's deep fried dough with powdered sugar and
it's like a zeppoli.
Well, there's a sex move where when a woman's on her knees, you pull her ears up like they're elephant ears, and you let her use your penis as her trunk. You know that one?
No, I didn't.
I'm not familiar with it.
Well, that was something I learned in a crazy class once. All right.
And they say sweet corn, too, but who does?
Yeah, I was thinking corn, too, that there would be some, corn, not Iowa exactly, but some. So the breaded tenderloin in Indianapolis. Thank you very much, Patrick. That's all I would eat. That's what I would.
What about the Hoosier sugar cream pie?
I'd eat all that.
Yeah.
When I go to a place, like I go to Nashville, I go to the Loveless Motel, and they have the restaurant there, and I have their biscuits and the ham and the breakfast. It's like 20 minutes out of town. That's where I go to eat.
Wow.
You go to Louisiana, you go to New York, you have those special things. That's one. Breaded tenderloin. That sounds fabulous.
Breaded pork tenderloin, at least this one says.
Look, I just made pork chops the other day. They're unbelievable.
I love pork tenderloin.
Beat the piss out of it with a mallet. That's how you get it tender. Now, we have a cut here in California, which is called a tri-tip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it anywhere else. They serve it like, it's almost like hamburger here. But it's kind of tough. And but it's flavorful, and it's not expensive. I got my mallet out 2 weeks ago. I beat the shit out of a 5-pound tri-tip. I seared it on each side, salt and peppered it, cooked it kind of slowly. Unbelievable. When you hit that thing with the mallet, I guess it tenderizes. I don't know. And, when you come to my home, Garrett, finally you'll come. I'll be in my chef's hat and in my apron. And I have different aprons. One, I have the Venus de Milo, the David with the penis and all. It looks like the penis and everything right there. I have one from the Loveless Motel. I have one that has crawfish on it. I have, Now, I have one. I look like a human Tabasco bottle. Oh, yeah.
Did you slice it correctly?
You know what? I think I did, but you're right. You have to slice it in a certain direction. I'm bad at all that.
You don't want the grains to be long. You want to cut the grains.
Well, my buddy TK is a butcher, and he's always telling me that. Mm-hmm. I'm also, when guys putt on a green, they can tell which way the grass grows. They can tell if the grain's going with the putt.
Yeah.
You could put me in a class and whip me, and I couldn't figure that out. I just can't. There's certain things I can't get. Let's go to Al of Maryland.
Jay, get rid of these hay seats. Get rid of these hay seats from Indianapolis.
Oh my
they don't know what they're talking about. You're a gentleman. You're not going to Indy in February. I've been there twice for the Formula One race. What a horrible. And that was in September. The weather was just horrific. It hailed.
Now wait a minute. Wait a second. Well, you know what, Al? Yeah, I had just gotten into Indianapolis. I could almost taste one of those breaded tenderloins. Did you have one of those?
Thing. Yeah. These idiots don't even know what they eat. They eat corn dogs and these giant turkey legs. That's the state food for Indianapolis. It's not any kind of gourmet delicacy. It's a frickin' corn dog or a big drumstick these goofballs walk around with around all the racetracks. I've been there. I've seen this for myself, Jay. You're a gentleman. You're not going to go that
giant. What you would go to a stadium, Christina? As much as you eat, would you actually put your little fist around the end of a giant turkey leg?
Oh, never. I worked at Disney World. Those things are nasty.
I don't think I would ever walk in public with a turkey leg in my hand. I don't think so.
What gentleman would, Jay?
Well, thank you for
walk around with
Maryland.
Two in their hands, one for each hand.
All right. Thank you, Al. Good God Almighty. Now, that I've never seen.
No, go to Disney World, and it's like they want to bang on their belly with it.
Since my kids got big, I don't do the state fairs. I don't do Disneyland, Disney World. I haven't done that. I guess in 6 or 7 years, right? So I don't do anything. And the fucking park and standing in line for the roller coaster and all that other bullshit. Oh man, oh my God! I used to go into the bathroom, get as loaded as I could possibly get. So that the horrifying day, I had no idea. I'd be blistered, just so I wouldn't have to think about it. By the way, we have a woman coming up in just a moment. She's written a book about a woman that was the woman worked with the police, right, Garrett? Mm-hmm. And she thought that she had the perfect crime, right? And she got her boyfriend to kill her husband. Called 911 and all of that, right?
Uh-huh.
And they say, in every court case now, this is not like CSI, right? And so don't expect us to be able to solve it like on television.
Yeah.
But the guy was a football player. He's doing life. Who did he play for?
I wasn't sure.
To get his name. Sometimes they played a year or two and they didn't start or whatever. But she's written the book. I love hearing about how the criminal put everything together,
mm-hmm.
and then still got caught. They always leave one thing out.
Or go back to the scene of the crime.
The investigator that had started the O.J. Simpson investigation, died a few days ago, the guy Van Adder. And I read his obituary. Remember the gloves that O.J. had?
Yep.
Okay.
They don't fit, you must have quit.
Right. Van Adder said that he had a mountain of evidence that proved that O.J. Simpson had murdered the wife, including her blood and his blood, in the car and all that other shit that they said that the Mark Furman had planted and all. But the thing about the gloves was only 200 pair of those gloves had ever been made. Did you know that?
No.
They are a special, highly custom glove that costs like $500 or something crazy, right? And
just like his shoes, Bruno
yes,
Mali's.
That's right. And so she had bought him, or he had bought for himself a pair of these gloves. So maybe in all of Los Angeles, maybe you could have found another pair or two of those gloves. But these were, and because they had gotten wet, right? Mm-hmm. They shrunk. They were leather and they shrunk.
And he was wearing the gloves on top of his hands.
Also, they should never have had him, put the gloves on. That was the thing. Mm-hmm. But when I'm reading about it, and OJ, it was a pretty sloppy thing, and he got off. Right?
Halfway.
No, he got off all the way.
Not the civil trial.
Well, that's right. He was acquitted of the criminal thing.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that weird? And they convicted him in civil court.
And then he just didn't want to go to work because any work he did, he would have to give Ron Goldman's dad.
Right.
So he just collected his $30,000 a month pension.
That's what he gets from the NFL?
That's what he did back in the day, and I think it went up because they new labor deal.
So he's just getting that money, and now he's in jail for kidnapping in Vegas, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. $30,000 a month, is that what they get?
That's what he got. I don't think everyone did, but
look how many times he got hit in the head, and he's fine. I think you have to start with a really good brain before anything can really happen to you. Okay. Poison Love, the woman that wrote about it, and I love hearing these murder things. I love them.
Yeah, I love Dateline and 40
Killed the
Hours
husband, called 911, all of that stuff. Maybe there's a 911 call we can get to. Stay where you are. If you're thinking about killing a loved one, don't do it before you hear the woman that wrote Poison Love next. Well, I'm sure my wife has watched every episode of Special Victims Unit literally 10 times. I mean,
Christina, too.
I do
my
those
favorite show.
I do those. Did you ever see the one that I'm in? Where
of course.
They think I'm trying to kill my mother?
Netflix has all the seasons.
Right.
Yeah, the cigar burns and your
I didn't do it.
Kind of mullet.
I didn't do it. And then, of course, there's me on Cold Case, where I am the murderer. I'm the killer. But in these shows, you know who the killer is within 5 minutes, usually, right? First person you see on the screen did it, usually. Let's welcome Caitlin Rother. Go to CaitlinRother.com. Poison Love, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on today.
Now, did they have these murders, they rip them from the headlines. Did they have these murders on Special Victims Unit or Cold Case? Did they use them as episodes?
I think they bought the rights to the victim's brother, but I don't know that they ever did a show. They had all kinds of documentaries, though, on Snap, the Oxygen Network, and on Bravo, I think they had one, and True TV way back when, and the E! Channel, and on and on.
So you're working on something else, but let's do Poison Love first. The woman was beautiful and smart and everything else, but she was unhappily married, and she was having an affair with her boss, and the woman was using crystal meth also?
Right. Because
that makes you look horrible. It really does. I mean, it really makes you look bad in a very short time. So did her appearance change?
Yes. She was arrested, actually, after she lost her job. She was fired for using meth. This is after her husband was found dead in her apartment, and she hadn't been accused of murder yet. She was arrested on this crazy methamphetamine binge, and she looked completely different. I mean, she was all, sores all over her face and kind of, wallow in the face, and it was bad.
After you take enough crystal meth, you begin looking like Nancy Grace.
I was just taping on her show today, so I have no comment.
Well, I consider her a close friend. That just goes to show you. But for those, we have a lot of people that have a lot of time on their hands, and Poison Love is a great read if you like. Everyone thinks they have this woman was kind of out of her mind a little bit. But she thought she had the perfect crime. Was her job not with a chemical lab of some sort or a crime lab?
Yeah, she was a toxicologist for the county medical examiner's office, which is, the place where they're actually trying to solve crimes.
So she had the perfect crime.
She stole drugs from work, poisoned her husband with them, and then staged a suicide scene. Meanwhile, she's also stealing methamphetamine, and the prosecutor said they thought she was even smoking meth in the lab because they have this handy-dandy equipment with a vent, and the smoke was going up. They found a glass pipe with her DNA on it in the lab, as if she were smoking there. So she was
smoking crystal meth at work.
That's what they think, yes, because why else would she have a pipe in the equipment at work in the office?
Well, you could also, if she was working on some cases back there, did they throw any of the cases that she was working on for the county out of court because this meth addict murderess was dealing with this stuff?
They never did that. I was a reporter at the San Diego Union Tribune at the time, and I tried to find that out, and they were completely closed-mouthed at the county because her victim's family sued the county for negligence and wrongful death, and they weren't about to talk about it. So
now, I don't want to give the whole book away. We have a lot of cheap listeners. They said we heard the interview. We don't need the book. Now look. So now. The guy, this is what's weird that I'm looking at. She didn't really want to marry him, and she reluctantly agreed.
Right.
And he was clingy.
Right.
He loved her. She felt suffocated.
Right.
He wanted to start a family. These are all the reasons you want to murder somebody, I think.
He got her off meth. That's what he got for helping her. She killed him. And that's what happens when you're in a codependent relationship with an addict. You start trying to figure out, are they using again? Because they start acting crazy, and you don't want to think you're crazy. So you start going through their bags. So he found a note from her lover and got all upset and confronted her. And according to her, threatened to expose the fact that she was having this affair with her boss and that she was using meth again. And so that, according to the prosecution, was her motive for killing him. I always thought that was a little funky because, you're not thinking rationally when you're on meth, period.
No.
So who knows what her rationale was.
What is a drug that you could give a human being, and you must love this too because you're actually sitting on another trial now. What can you give someone that is difficult to detect?
Well, fentanyl wasn't, they didn't test for fentanyl.
You know what? Let me get a pen. My wife and I are going through a rocky time.
I have another one for you, but at the medical examiner's office at this time, they did not test for fentanyl. It's a powerful narcotic, 100 times more powerful than morphine, and they give it to cancer patients. And they just didn't test for it because it's unusual. It's a controlled substance. You have to be working in a hospital or in one of those controlled settings in order to have access to it. But the other drug, just so you know, is succinylcholine. That one doesn't really show up if you test for it either. Because it just doesn't. Your body metabolizes it and it sort of disappears. So the way to catch somebody, which is actually the meat of Kristen Rossum's appeal, they want to test Greg's autopsy specimens for fentanyl metabolites, which you'll only find if the person took the drug before they died. Now, if the autopsy specimens were contaminated after he died, which is what they're claiming, then you won't find them. And same with succinylcholine. You won't find the succinylcholine, but you might find the succinylcholine metabolites. That's the only way. You have to know to look for it.
So the appeal is that this guy was taking this stuff before he died on his own?
Well, no, she poisoned him, according to the prosecution, and according to the defense, he killed himself drinking this stuff. And no one can really explain on the defense how he had access to it because like I said, it's a controlled substance. The prosecution says, no, she stole it from work, and then she took it home and poisoned him with it and then hid it because there was no trace of how it got into his body. And it's an extremely fast-acting drug. So the people who've died on a recreational overdose have the syringe sticking into their arm or lying next to them. It's not like they have time to get up and make themselves a sandwich, come back, put red rose petals over themselves, tuck in the wedding.
What was that all about? She put red rose petals and the wedding picture under his body?
The rose petals were supposedly over his bed and under the covers, and the wedding picture, she changed her story, was either under the pillow or he was holding it. And then when she called 911, they said, oh, well, put him on the floor. And she's like, what do you mean, put him on the floor? So she had to sweep the red rose petals off the sheet with her hand, and you could still see the red streaks because they were fresh petals.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on the floor, made sure that there were petals on top of his body again, and then propped the wedding picture on the floor, just like he was looking at it, even though he was completely unconscious and actually dead. So
and that was to give him CPR or something,
right? Because you can't give somebody CPR on the bed; you have to have a hard surface on the floor.
You think she gave him CPR?
Well, here's what's funny: the paramedics get there, right? She's on a cordless phone in the living room. The body's in the bedroom. She's been counting and pressing and breathing the whole time with the dispatcher on 911 in the living room where there's no body.
Wow, you know, now that's she's meth-addled, and so she was. So that's poisoned love.
Poisoned love.
And how long did the trial last?
About a month.
A month. That's a long time.
That is a long time. Yeah, they were very thorough.
What was she going to get out of it? Insurance or something?
From my standpoint, she wanted to be with her lover. And if the prosecution's motive is true, then she was trying to protect herself from not getting fired, because he was going to report her meth use. So that all came out anyway, and she lost her job anyway, and then she lost her lover because he skedaddled back to Australia, where he was from, and he's to this day supposedly technically still under investigation, but they haven't had enough evidence to charge him. They'd have to extradite him back.
I've never understood. I wouldn't want to be with anyone that just killed somebody because they didn't like him anymore. Because you know that your relationship.
Really?
I mean, your relationship's going to go sour eventually, and they're going to be looking at you funny. I wouldn't be able to sleep. So Poison Love is the book. Now you're actually sitting in on another trial.
It just finished, actually. Yes.
The Nanette Packard case.
Yes.
And she and a former NFL football player, Eric Napotsky, who did he play for?
He played for very briefly for the Patriots and the Colts. Very briefly. And then in Barcelona for the World League, and I think he was also supposed to play in Canada, and I don't know if he actually played or just went up there.
So the woman got a businessman to take out $1 million policy. They aren't even married. This is her boyfriend. And she talked him into the $1 million policy?
Well, it's actually a lot more than $1 million that's at stake here. This guy developed this groundbreaking device that separates plasma from blood. So the guy was worth $55 million, and he's getting royalties every year from this thing, and he's got all kinds of real estate. He's got 2 houses in Newport Beach. He's got 2 houses in Las Vegas. So I know that keeps coming out in the media as $1 million, and yes, that's true that there was $1 million life insurance policy for her, but there's so much more that she would have had access to if she had gotten away with this, because he signed over a trust to her as the trustee once he was gone.
And they shot this guy, so they pretended it was a robbery.
Well, they didn't. They just kept bringing up different people that it could have been, but she told her ex-husband, "Oh, don't tell the police that I was at this soccer game with Eric because he didn't have anything to do with it." And so right away, her ex-husband is never recovered from the fact that she cheated on him several times. And so he immediately tells the police this, and among other things. And so she and Eric Napotsky were suspects pretty early on. But they both claimed that, it wasn't them.
Now, you like going to these trials?
I do.
Yeah, years ago, I bought the rights with another friend of mine who's a producer to the Hillside Strangler. We actually got the guy, is it Buono? Was that his name? Buono? But we bought the rights, and we were getting ready to make it a movie of the week. And then a guy that arrested him up in Bellingham, Washington, they actually went with that guy instead of the actual killer himself. And I had to go to the trial where they would talk about how they killed these poor women.
Right.
And they would put the end of a cord, an electric cord, in their hands.
Yeah.
And then they'd plug the cord in the wall.
Right.
And then the women's bodies would jump so much they'd put a bed on top. I could not take the trial.
Yeah, I try to pick ones that are more psychological in nature. And if you'll notice, with Poison Love, there's no blood, okay?
All right.
It's clean.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the screaming and the cutting.
Yeah, I don't like the screaming and the violence.
And then these guys, I guess they would cut the women up.
No, see, I don't
All
get
right.
that. I have one case that I wrote a book about like that. That's the only one that I think I'll ever do because like I said, I don't like that either. That makes me sick. So.
Do you ever get scared, like you're writing the book and you're sitting in your room and it's night and?
Well, actually, I have a book coming out in July on the John Gardner case. I don't know if you remember that. There was a teenager here in San Diego named Chelsea King who was national news. She was blonde and blue-eyed, and she went missing running around a park. And it was about a year after another young teenager had gone missing here. It was on the cover of People magazine, Amber Dubois. So it was the Dateline premiere, a couple hours from last season, and it was a big case, and it's coming out in July. That one scared me. That one, and it scared me more than any others. That I can't go hiking now. I mean, I'm just freaked out. This guy is a sexual predator, and he jumped these girls when they were alone and raped and killed them, and it was just horrible. So yeah, it does scare me. It didn't used to, but it's getting to. Maybe it's cumulative after all these books. I don't know.
Caitlin Rother, Poison Love is the book, and we just had Henry Winkler on before you, and he writes children's books.
It's a little different.
I would like to write a book about a radio announcer that kills people that write children's books. I hated having to read those things to my kids. The Harry Potter lady, I should have put an award, something on her, like a bounty on her head. I hated those. Hated reading those. So, is this good reading for children, Poison Love?
I wouldn't say so, no. But I think if you're an older teenager and on, you're fine.
Good. Hey, Caitlin, thank you very much. Go to Caitlin with a C, Rother.com. The book is Poison Love. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Wow. Now, Gary, do you like this kind of stuff, the killer stuff?
Yeah.
If you ever read one of these books and you're by yourself, see, I get scared all the time. We always leave a little bit of the door open because the cats can go in and out at night. I don't know why it is, but if I'm home alone, not that my wife's going to protect me, but let's say she's gone and the kids are gone.
Yeah.
I am more nervous because I figure that the killer would probably get to them before they got to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, at my bed, I have mace at my bed, and I have a shotgun with no, I had the safety taken off of it.
What?
You betcha.
You have an illegal shotgun.
Yes, I do.
That's what you're saying.
And I have chopped I had my son do it, I chopped the barrel down.
You have an illegal sawed-off shotgun.
It's double fucking illegal, right? I don't think the barrel length is illegal. It's probably a millimeter more than it ought to be, whatever it is. And I have the breech open, and I have 3 or 4 different types of shells right next to me. And I think almost every night of my life, I put my hand on that mace and I feel around for that shotgun like at 2 a.m. every night.
Yeah.
I know. I am so scared. I'm telling you. And I have 12-foot walls around my house. Giant 2-foot thick 12. Oh, yeah. I am so frightened of someone coming in.
I witnessed it going to the Apollo when we were going to get robbed.
I saved our lives.
Yeah.
You mean the snatch and go? That one?
Bait and switch or whatever you call it.
No, the snatch and go. That's what it was. It's something all the gang members know out there. I think Spike Lee's making a movie about it soon. All right.
Sounds like a fun name for rape.
There you go. All right.
Jesus.
Stay where you are. The boy is only, 10, but he deserves a tattoo. So they've announced the 84th Annual Academy Awards yesterday. Did you know that?
No.
Isn't that a big deal when Christina, did you?
I knew, but I only saw one of the movies that they're talking about this year, so I don't really care that much.
The Artist, which is a silent movie.
Did you see it, or are you just like...
No.
Because it's
Why would I go see it?
I know.
Well, silent movie. The Descendants, which is, with George Clooney, supposed to be very sad. I hear Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close is so bad, and it's up for Best Picture. It's Tom Hanks. A little boy is autistic. His father was killed in the 9/11 thing, so there's flashbacks. But the mother lets the little boy go around New York City, 8 or 9 years old, looking for a lock that fits a key he found. Now, he's a little boy, and he goes alone. And he meets people. I don't know who he meets. Hugo. What is that? I never even heard of Hugo.
Martin Scorsese.
It's a cartoon. 3D.
Is it?
Yeah. Midnight in Paris, the Woody Allen movie is very good. The Help. It's about the South. And I think that'll win. The Help. Moneyball was good. War Horse. I don't like to see horses killed. I think they shoot horses, blowing up. The Tree of Life by this guy named Terry Malick, who everybody loves. He's only done about 10 films. It is such a piece of shit you cannot believe. You'll be watching the movie, and all of a sudden it's a dinosaur comes out. But the movie it's Brad Pitt and his little boy, and the acting's really good, and then all of a sudden there's volcanoes and dinosaurs and weird, and it makes no sense whatsoever. None. You have no idea why you're there. The Artist is a silent black and white film about a suffering and aging actress. Jesus.
It just reeks of, this is different, so we're saying it's good.
Right. The best actor is Damien Bashir from A Better Life. I never saw that. George Clooney, The Descendants. Jean Dujardin, The Artist. Gary Oldman, Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy. The one on PBS is great. The movie is too condensed. So, and then Brad Pitt for Moneyball. The Descendants is a story about a woman cheating on George Clooney, who's in a coma or something. Like that's going to happen?
Yeah.
By the way, he dates a wrestler. That's odd to me.
I just found that out recently, I guess, at the Golden Globes. I couldn't believe it.
No, but that's his real girlfriend. That's not like a joke. I mean, now look, that's okay to be.
Keebler.
And that's okay to be that. But we have met over the years when they've come in and out of our studios, American Gladiator people and people that they're all odd, right? These women, and she was a WWE wrestler, right?
Yeah.
That's they're weird, odd, crazy. Now, what about the sex? Yeah, but it isn't just sex. You got to hang around with her, It's like when I dated that woman that was the strippergram girl,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell people what she did. It was embarrassing, Glenn Close for Best Actress playing a man named Albert Nobbs. Can you imagine? She'd been trying to make this movie for 20 years. Plays a man.
Oh, yeah.
And then the woman that's up for Best Supporting Actress, she plays a man, too. She's his friend. That's in the movie. Crazy. Viola Davis for The Help. Rooney Mara, whose family owns the New York Giants. Girl with a dragon tattoo. Meryl Streep for The Iron Lady. Would you ever go see a movie, Christina, about Margaret Thatcher, who was the Prime Minister of England?
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. Michelle Williams, My Week with Marilyn. That was a TV movie at best. She's only famous because her ex-husband OD'd.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Dawson's Creek, man.
Yeah.
No, but
yes.
She was bigger before
Way bigger.
Heath Ledger.
But she's not a movie star. I'm sorry. When look, she would have still been an actress. It's the same thing with Jennifer Aniston. Had she not been dumped by Brad Pitt, had she not, and had Michelle Williams not been the ex-wife with the daughter of Heath Ledger, people just know that they are on the cover of all the magazines.
Jennifer Aniston was successful before Brad Pitt.
Not in the movies, and nobody else.
She was in Office Space, right? And
yeah, but not as a lead. And her movies don't really make any money. She was fabulous in Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, she was.
She ought to be the third lead or a character actress. Listen, more power to them. I wish, somebody would dump me and I get a career. I should have married one of these fucking assholes just to have them dump me so I could have a career.
It's never too late, Jay.
I could never get close to any of them. They always say their security pushed me back. I don't even know how you go out with these people because it's hard to even sit and talk to them. How do you hit on them? Kenneth Branagh for My Week with Marilyn. Jonah Hill for Moneyball, Nick Nolte for The Warrior. Oh, they got upset with Nick Nolte because he said in an interview that he went out one night and did blow and stuff when he was doing The Warrior. Okay. Ooh. Christopher Plummer, The Beginners. Beginners is a fabulous movie. Fantastic.
Is that Iron Lady movie even out yet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably ready to close. Now, Christopher Plummer may win. You know. But Beginners is really a good movie. Really good. Now when they get the Best Supporting Actress, Bernice Bejo, the artist, Jessica Chastain, 12 movies she has coming out. 12. She did 7 last year and 5 more coming out. I've never heard of her. You know her, Christina?
No.
12. Janet McTeer, Albert Nobbs, Octavia Spencer, The Help. See, the two people from The Help, they block each other out. You know.
Was that a good movie? Or
Yes.
Was it...
No, it was a really good movie.
The Help?
Yeah.
Or was it make white people feel good about themselves?
No, not at all. But
the white
people
women in
feel
it were
good
terrible.
about themselves?
The white women,
Because
they
the
were
white
terrible.
women helped the black women in the end.
No, you don't get that feeling.
Best Director, Woody Allen, whatever the guy's name is for the artist, whose name you can't say. Terry Malick for Tree of Life. Alexander Payne, The Descendants. Martin Scorsese, Hugo. Hollywood Loves a Pedophile, Woody wins. Bridesmaids is up for Best Original Screenplay. I like that one.
I did too.
But I think Midnight in Paris is the best. How about The Artist is up for Best Screenplay? There's no words.
Do you think that the girl with the dragon tattoo is going to get anything?
I hope not.
Yeah.
Only the Swedish version. That's all I care about.
Right.
Here's one. Best Animated Feature. A Cat in Paris. Chico and Rita. Kung Fu Panda 2. Puss in Boots. Wrangle. Who gives a fuck?
Hugo's not in there?
No. No, it's Best Picture.
So that shouldn't it definitely be in Best Cartoon Picture?
Yes, I agree with that. They also should be a comedy, and there should be a drama division. Because comedies never win.
Comedy would never win, right?
Never.
Has a comedy ever won Best Picture?
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I don't know. Was Forrest Gump a comedy? I don't know. Happy ending. Best Documentary. Hell and Back Again, If a Tree Falls, The Story of the Earth Liberation Front, Paradise Lost 3, Purgatory, Pina, Undefeated. Who gives a shit about documentaries? Nobody. Best Cinematography. Why don't you just say the cameraman and the lighting guy? That's really what it is. It's the guy that does the lights and lights which is great, you know. But they don't need to give this the night of the show. And most of it's CGI anyway. Why don't they just give it like Best Nerd? It's some guy in an office somewhere, you know, with what is Apple Pro, whatever it is. Best Art Direction. Who gives a fuck?
Now, what did they do? Like when I watched the Golden Globes, people were showing up at 5:30, and it went on at 8:30.
They shut you in. I've told you this. They shut you in earlier than that.
So you're going down the red carpet, and once you go in the door, you have to go right to your seat. And
you're in.
You're sitting there for 2 hours while nothing's
5
going on.
hours, whatever. And then the dinner is in there somewhere, too. You can't leave. And then when you get up, there's a seat filler. Christina, you ought to do that one year, become a seat filler. You put a nice dress on, and when somebody gets up who has a big ass, you get to sit down where they sat.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a red carpet
like a wedding crasher
schedule?
Yeah. I guess there is. You know, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I only did the Emmys. I did the Screen Actors Guild Awards, and I did the Academy Awards. And you are shut in there 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. They close the doors, and that's it.
At the Golden Globes, do they serve drinks?
Yeah. Cocktails.
Right.
You know, a lot of them don't because they don't. Now, remember, there's a green room for all the presenters and all of that stuff. So I presented at the Emmys. There was no booze, and there was no booze at the Screen Actors Guild or the Writers Guild. Because they don't want them drunk. I think at the Golden Globes, they kind of want them drunk. I think.
Well, half the Golden Globes was just watching someone do a waiter's job, squeezing in between tables and walking up to the front of the stage. Everyone was always in the back, and they'd have to squeeze through tables as everyone's
That thing
eating.
is bought and paid for. That is just the industry, and then all the big stars show up for it. That's That's the most ridiculous award ceremony because it's just bought and paid for.
Yeah.
And they write about it, and, best costume designer, gives a fuck. Best documentary short, who gives a fuck? Best film editing, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Best makeup, who cares? Best original score, who cares?
Oh, that could be good.
Best short film, who cares? Here's one. Best sound editing. Best sound mixing. You like that? They shouldn't give... That's why the thing runs for 4 hours. They should give the 4 or 5 awards, and then all these other awards, give them during the day.
I thought they did. I thought they
do others.
Oh.
You're going to see all these ones I just said. Give a fuck, all that. Let's go to Mickey of Detroit. It's been a long time. Yes, Mickey, go ahead.
Hey, it has been a long time. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Now, Mickey, you used to call up. You were very angry. They must have put you on some different meds or something.
I'm not on any meds.
No, not at all. Okay.
No.
You're the calmest. You're so calm. You're so.
Well,
who do you like? Who do you like in this Republican primary? Who do you like?
They're all dirty bastards, but I think if Newt was to be their
nominee,
their
nominee.
Yes, that's it.
You would vote for Newt Gingrich. You like that?
No, I always pull a straight Democratic poll.
No matter who the guy is. Now, wait a second. I'm going to read you some things about Barack Obama. You ready? During his presidency, the price of gasoline has gone up 83%. Ice cream prices for a half gallon, they were let's say $4.45 in 2009.
Well, let's stop with the oil.
Wait a minute, $5.25 now, 20%. A bacon, pound of bacon went from $3.73 to almost $5. That's what he's done. Okay, and you're still going to vote for him.
Well, when the carrier passed through the straits yesterday, the day before, gas dropped like 3-4 cents immediately.
I don't know.
That oil's all bullshit.
Now, how about Mitt Romney? He doesn't have a job, but he made $21 million last year, Garrett.
I'm waiting for him to get nominated, then I can call back and tell you what. Really,
he doesn't have a job. $21 million.
Mormons are.
He doesn't ever have to work. Nothing. It just comes in from investments.
Sure. But Jesus. The Mormons, if he gets nominated, every woman's group in the country should be against the Mormons
because they have too many wives. Now, Christina, if I had a couple of wives and I asked you to be my third wife, would you join with me?
Well, wait, hold on. What are you giving me out of it?
I'd give you 6 inches of pure sweet love, baby.
No, definitely not. If you didn't touch me and you gave me my own stuff.
Here, sweet love. That sounds like a blues song, Jay.
Yeah. Would it make your skin crawl if I caressed your neck?
Yeah.
Barack Obama honored the Boston Bruins yesterday for winning the Stanley Cup, but guess what? MVP Tim Thomas was not in attendance, Garrett.
Yeah, the goalie.
Because he disagrees with Barack. That's right.
Oh.
He likes none of the United States. So what's a goalie in the NHL making a bunch of money give a fuck about?
Well, you watch how many people skip out.
He's been hit in the head with too many fucking pucks.
Well, Obama was going to try and honor the Professional Bowlers Association. None of them wanted to show up, Garrett. Every single one of them was a fucking Republican.
Wow.
Every one of those goddamn bowlers. Yes.
Well, what about if he let him give Michelle the bowling ball grab?
God. Mickey.
Hey.
Mickey, when's the last time you've been on an airplane?
No, not even that.
10?
Before or after 9/11?
I went out to bed legally.
You went where?
Las Vegas.
We went out to Vegas. How many years ago was that?
Well, I lived there for 10 years. I moved back.
So 10 years ago, a guy gets on a plane.
No. I was just I just was out there last week. So.
Oh, okay. So a guy got on a JetBlue flight to Newark, and he lit up a joint in the bathroom. You read about this one? And it was from Fort Lauderdale to Newark, and they started smelling it. Adam Blumenkrantz. And when they got him, let's go around the horn, Garrett.
Ooh.
Let's go around the horn with Mickey of Detroit. Mickey, what was his excuse for smoking the marijuana cigarette?
That's the only one he had on him.
That's the only cigarette he had, Garrett. What do you think it was, Garrett?
He was having a panic attack.
Panic attack. He needed it, right, for something. Christina, what do you think it was?
Glaucoma.
Ooh.
You're exactly right. He
Really?
said
Yeah.
medical marijuana for glaucoma. That's what he said. Can you imagine coming out of the bathroom? The fucking smoke fills the cabin, right?
Baking. I mean,
Everybody is going
hotboxing it.
And he should fly Southwest. They have the new Stoners Fly Free program.
Wow.
You know, get on there.
You know, I used to enjoy that years ago.
What?
Marijuana.
You don't smoke anymore?
No, I've thought about starting again. I could get a legal medical card in Michigan, and but then I couldn't use the open carry law here. So
Right. Oh, you mean you like that? You have a gun on you at all times?
Well, in this neighborhood, it's a good idea.
So when you say open carry,
it has to be open. Or
you have a gun in Detroit.
Wait a minute. Here's another question of yours I love. I'm felony free.
You have a gun on your hip right now?
Well, no, I'm sitting in my big Haas Kyrite leather chair. Of course I don't have a gun on me right now.
But when you walk outside, you have a gun on your hip.
Not always. Just like when I wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, I got to go down the alley to the store.
You get up at 3 in the morning and go to the store? Why?
Sometimes, because I go to sleep and I wake up when I want to.
I know, but can't you wait until it's light and the killers aren't out there?
No. When I want my coffee, goddammit, I'll go get my coffee.
Why don't you buy a Mr. Coffee or a Cuisinart coffee maker for $50?
Because I drink coffee all goddamn day.
Well, buy the coffee maker and keep the strong coffee going.
I got a stainless steel fucking thermos. Go there and I get it filled up.
So 3 in the morning, you got your gun, you go down to the thing, you get the coffee. Boy, I tell you what, I hope you call back and say you shot somebody. I'd love to see that.
No, but here's the thing, Jay.
What is it?
You gotta stop talking about yourself so much. You have in California, you have a medical marijuana card, right?
I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, well, that's good. Because otherwise you wouldn't be allowed to have that shotgun you talk about. You know that.
You know what? I don't need you to tell me when I can have and what I can have and everything else. Someone comes into my house, I will deal with the consequences. I'm blasting away, baby. I'm blasting away.
Well, I'm just saying it's not right.
What do you mean it's not right?
It's not right. Anyone with a medical marijuana card now in the United States is not allowed to own a firearm for any reason.
You know why? You know why? When you're in that good of a mood and you have a gun, you might just shoot it off for happiness.
Oh, yeah, it's bullshit. You know.
No, if I'm stoned and I got my shotgun, I may want to just go out. By the way, when I was a kid, wait a minute, my brother and I, we got our hunting, our shotguns out. I must have been about 13. And Garrett, I shot the gun in the air, and I never told the story. I shot the telephone wires. Oh, God. And my father went crazy. The fucking lights went out, the phone went out, and the sparks are flying. My father goes, God damn it! God damn it! Oh my God! I'd forgotten that. They were all shooting in the air. I got right under the telephone lines, let the shotgun go, blew the shit out of the telephone
You know what
wires.
made my day is bringing a good story to your mind. That's that's a funny
Well,
story.
thank you, Mickey of Detroit. I have not thought about that in years. Thank you, Mickey of Detroit. Always good to have you there. Thank you. What a wonderful.
Take care of yourself.
He's in my contract. That he's one of the many people that I have to talk to.
Wow.
Go back and forth. Let's go to Miva of California. Yes, Miva. Is it Miva or did Christina just screw it up completely?
It actually starts with the N, like Nancy.
Neva. Yes, Neva. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm driving through New Mexico.
Wow, I love New Mexico. That's a good place. New Mexico, yeah.
I'm the truck driver.
Cool.
I've called you before a few times.
Good.
But anyway, I listened to a special about the cruise ship crash, and I wanted to let you know that the captain went off his course so he can honk the horn at retired Admiral Palumbo.
The name of the admiral was Palumbo?
Yes, it was.
My last name.
Christina,
Wait, what happened?
that
I was on the phone.
the cruise ship guy was going close to shore to honk the horn at a retired Italian admiral named Palumbo, one of your relatives.
Oh.
You ought to tell your dad that. Yeah.
I heard that, and I wanted to let you know. Also, Stacy Keebler, my husband was all into wrestling. She's a beautiful, very tall, blonde woman with a 42-inch inseam. She didn't really wrestle a lot. Every once in a while, one of the tough girls would throw her around. But she was basically there for looks.
Yes.
But she was on Dancing with the Stars, and I believe she won.
Well, here's the weird, and his old girlfriend was on, the one from Italy. The weird thing is I'm just, out of all the people I've met, when you meet these women that are wrestlers and all that, and I know she's beautiful and she's probably great to screw and everything else, but I wonder what those conversations are like. That's an odd motivation. He's a smart guy. He's a director. He's trying to save the world. And then you go, who's he dating? A wrestler. It's just odd. Just crazy.
That other woman he was dating was on Dancing with the Stars, and he was with her for 2 years, and I'm trying to figure out
Elisabetta?
She was a beautiful Italian model.
She was a terrible dancer.
Yeah, well.
She had like baby deer legs, and she would just shake.
Yeah, she has no intelligence, and George Clooney's a really smart guy. You can just
I think maybe George really doesn't want to be with anyone that challenges him mentally because he might want to marry them. He truly doesn't want to get married. And so he picks people that are good looking, and he's not going to get in any big, deep conversations with them. I understand it completely. He treats every woman he dates like a mistress, She's just there to look good, to hang out and enjoy all of the things he's got. And it must be difficult because even the dumbest of women think they have value. It's always amazing, isn't it, Garrett?
Wow.
True.
Anyway,
True.
Oh God.
No, but I mean men too, Christina. You've met these dumb fucking like The Situation, or one of those idiots you watch.
Yeah, he's a dumb fuck.
But he thinks he has value.
I know, it's so pathetic.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Neva, thank you very much, Neva.
Who has more value, Situation or Snooki?
Snooki. By far, Snooki.
Yeah, no value at all. Let's go to Big Daddy of Texas. That's your name, Big Daddy?
That would be correct, Jay.
Wow. Who gave you that name?
Well, actually, I was a DJ in Austin on the air, and Burl Ives was a favorite, so I took it from Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
You took the old name of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof from Big Daddy of there was a play, of course, and then, wow. So you would go on the air and you would say, hey, everybody, it's me, Big Daddy, like that.
Yeah, except it was a hip-hop station, so it was a little more ghetto than that.
You know what? It sounds like the name Kramer would have used if he was a DJ, Garrett. Big Daddy.
Jay, let's hear your ghetto, Big Daddy.
God, me? Such a sexy voice.
Who, me?
He said that it was ghetto.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, baby. Big Daddy. Big Daddy, bitch. Big Daddy in the house, bitch. Get down,
it was
bitch.
Like that.
Hey, by the way, my real name is Bruce. You got to figure out where the Big Daddy is on my body. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
yes, Big
Jay,
Daddy.
I was calling about Free to Be You and Me, which is a favorite of mine, and I was wondering how come you weren't in it.
What is Free to Be You and Me? What is that?
It was your sister's Emmy Award-winning children's animated thing.
My sister's?
Yeah.
My real life sister?
Yeah.
I don't speak to her. She wrote a book?
No, but anyway, yeah, it was a children's thing. It was great.
I don't know what
thought
you're
you would
talking
have been perfect in it.
Free to be you and me. I don't even know what that is. I have no idea. Garrett, look it up. We'll find out.
I'll send you a copy for a glossy 8x10.
All right, fine. Christina, give him the address there in New York, and we'll take care of him. All right? I don't know what he's talking about.
Love you, Jay.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
I buried my sister in a shallow grave years ago, Garrett. That she dug her way out. Wrote a book is amazing to me.
I think it's credited as Marlo Thomas and Friends.
Oh, fucking Marlo, please. All right. Thanks a lot. I don't know. It's supposed to be a joke or something? No, I don't know. Stupid. Dumb. Let's go to Tim of Michigan. Yes, Tim, it's Jay Thomas. Yes, sir.
Yes, Jay. Got a couple of things. First of all, I know Big Daddy because I'm a truck driver myself.
Yeah.
And the biggest part of Big Daddy's his nose. I want you to know that first of all.
So Big Daddy has a big nose.
Yeah, ain't nothing else. Truck ain't below his waist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotcha.
And number two is that lady that was talking about the cruise ship. Yeah. I know why the cruise ship went by or close to shore.
Why?
See, they were in port dropping off help and picking up new help, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But when they left, the captain was looking out his binoculars, all right, and seeing his wife getting it on with the dishwasher.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tim.
Yes.
I'm sure none of your friends think you're interesting, and we don't think you're interesting. So just stop it. You're not interested. Take a hint from all of us, your friends, your family, and me, a professional, Jay Thomas.
I like you, Tim.
You're just pissed off because I'm funnier than you.
Well, thank you. You know what? You're right. And you know what? I'm going to have to hang up on you now because I'm afraid they're going to give you a show on OutQ. All right. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Good God. I only have to do this because of the contract now.
I understand.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Brian of Florida. Yes, Brian.
Hey, AJ. Big fan.
Yeah.
Back to when you were talking about the Oscars and all that sort of thing. I just happened to see a movie this weekend called Sucker Punch. I was wondering if you had happened to seen that.
No, I don't know Sucker Punch.
It was directed by the same guy that did 300 and Watchmen. It's Zach something. I forget his name right now.
Right.
I just thought it was a really good movie. I was wondering if you had seen it.
Sucker Punch. You know that movie, Garrett? Sucker Punch?
It sounds really familiar, but
I tell you what I saw that it was never released. I don't know. It couldn't have been a movie of the week. It was too gory. Staten Island. It's the wildest. It's a mobster kind of murder thing, but it's really good. Staten Island. Ethan Hawke and this guy Vincent D'Onofrio is in it. And it's about Staten Island. It's kind of funny in the beginning. And, man, this vicious fucking murder triangle starts. It is wild. They got people, they're taking dead bodies to this deli and slicing them up. Oh, my God. It's a wild one. It's a crazy one. Yeah. And
I'll tell you, that's what I like about That's what I liked about this movie too, is that it starts out one way and then it all of a sudden turns into like 2 or 3 different stories, and it's.
Yeah, I was going to say, it says
it's like a shoot 'em up, but it's also like kind of a chick flick too. It's just really bizarre.
A young girl's institutionalized by her abusive stepfather, retreating to an alternate reality as a coping strategy. She envisions a plan which will help her escape the mental facility.
Wow.
What it made me think of almost was like the first Matrix movie. It was just, how it would slip back and forth between reality.
I hated that movie. My wife's watched it 100 times. My kids watch it. I hate all that. When the bullets
You don't like the Matrix?
I hate that.
Oh.
I hate all that. No, you know what? I like reality. I have trouble with fantasy. I have a lot of trouble with it. I don't know why. I like real stuff. So the Sucker Punch movie becomes like The Matrix?
Well, the thing is, this girl is institutionalized, and it's based. I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but she's basically.
Tell me how it ends. I don't give a shit.
Well, okay. At the end, everybody gets killed, and.
All right, good. Thank you. Now you've ruined the whole movie for everybody. All right.
Actually, I had one more question, though, if you got time.
What is it? Yes, go ahead, Brian.
I know, and you being a big shot that you are and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
When you sit there and you read the movie credits, which I often do. When the producer's line comes up, there's like, it depends on the show, but there's always like the executive producer, the co-executive producer, the co-producer, the producer. I mean,
Are you talking TV or movies?
Both. I've seen it in everything.
In television, in lieu of a raise, they give you a producer credit. So let's say you're a writer and you've written for the show for a few years. You will see people getting the producer credit. It sometimes might mean a little extra money, but it's mostly so that on your resume, you're better than a staff writer. So even though everybody knows what it means, you can brag that you were a producer on Everybody Loves Raymond, let's say, right? So in TV, it's given as a gift in lieu of a salary, right? In the movies, the executive producers can be the people that help put the money together, the actual money, the idea, the whole deal. And then the other producers of the movie, there's somebody called the line producer. That's a person that runs the everyday workings of it. But in the movies, it's very specific who the producers are. And then a producer is a person that makes sure the money is spent and all that. But executive producers are usually the people that got the rights to the film, help get the money from the studio, work at the studio, it'll be Steven Spielberg and somebody, Ira Johnson or whatever, and they put it all together, the big people. So I was the executive producer of one movie of the week called Bachelor's Baby, because I wrote the original idea, and I bought the rights to the book, and I brought it to CBS, and I guess I was going to star in it, and then I lost my show, so they got rid of me. And so my buddy, who ended up directing it, when they go into the editing room, Garrett, he just put my name really big, an executive producer in the credits, thinking that CBS would throw it out, when they saw the final cut.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So I'm watching this thing one night, my name goes executive producer. For like the last 15 years, I've gotten all this mail and email and stuff. Dear executive producer, we'd like to, it was a meaningless, but I got it because I brought the idea, I pitched it to the network, they gave us the money, and then my buddy wrote the script. Did he end up directing it? But he wrote the script. So so I executed the deal. So like I was the executive producer. So that's how that happens.
Do you not get the bigger payday then for that?
I got paid. You get paid one time. I got, I think, $60,000. Got the money. Didn't get any residuals because I'm not a member of the Producers Guild. So I didn't have any, and I didn't write it. I wrote the treatment, but not the script. But, my buddy, the director and TV directors, they'll sometimes get, I have one friend that just from directing alone makes $250,000 a year in residuals because he's directed so many shows. $250,000-$300,000. If you direct the first episode of a television show and they fire you, you get a residual for every show that's run for the length of the run of the show. So you shoot whoever shot the pilot for Special Victims Unit has been being paid for every single show for the last, 15 years. Or a sitcom or whatever.
Wow.
I know. That's huge money. And you're talking $10,000 to $20,000 an episode for the director.
Well, this movie that I was just asking about, Sucker Punch, the guy that directed it, I think he also had something to do with the screenplay, and I think he got a producer's credit.
Is that an English movie, Sucker Punch?
No, this guy's American. I think he's from my state of Green Bay. That's where.
So I'll tell you the great movie that was out there last year, Winter's Bone. Oh, my God, you got to see that one. That's unbelievable. That's a great one. Winter's Bone, directed by a woman on a really low budget. One of the best kind of.
Oh, was that the movie with the Indians?
No.
It wasn't the.
No, Winter's Bone is about this young girl they're going to lose their house, and their dad put the house up because he was going to go to jail.
Yeah, and she hangs out with Indians, Native Americans.
No, it's about Kentucky. It's about Missouri and Kentucky. It's about Appalachia. They're not Indians.
Oh, what movie am I thinking of?
I have no idea. You're on marijuana.
This woman, and it's like gets cold. It's like snowing at the end, and they're all cold. And
no, she's with women. It's actually a women's murder mystery. No.
Oh,
Winter's Bone. I don't know what you're thinking of. One of those. There's always winter in an Indian movie. You know, they're always freezing. You know.
This guy's name is Zack Snyder.
Boy, that sounds like somebody got the shit beaten out of him in high school, doesn't it? Speaking of sucker punches. Hey, what are you doing today? Well, I'm going to beat the piss out of Zack Snyder. Yeah, you know.
Well,
all right. All right, Brian, you're done. You're done. Brian, you're done. This is not a babysitting.
Get rid of me.
No, I'm not. You're not a babysitting service for bored, fucking out of work people. All right, we'll be right back.
Thanks, sir.
Penis is what boys have down in front. Penis is the word, though it seems blunt. All boys have a penis, so no matter what you've heard, remember that penis is the proper word. Vulva is what girls have down below.
Even though most people call it vagina, and some children call it Virginia.
Vulva, when she's naked it will show. All girls have a vulva, so no matter what you've heard, remember that vulva is the proper word. Our anus is a useful thing indeed. The anus gives relief in time of need.
This is from one of Henry Winkler's children's books.
So no matter what
it's a PSA he did.
Remember that anus.
That's not him singing, though, is it?
No, but he's the Fonz, and he introduces Henry Winkler, and then Henry Winkler introduces this guy.
Radiant discomfort.
He produced a PSA where they tell the names of the parts of the body. Why didn't you bring that up when he was on the show earlier?
It was. I felt it was a little uncomfortable and not the right place to.
Excuse me, I would have made that decision.
Okay.
Are you kidding? That would have been fabulous.
He came in like right at the end of the interview.
Oh,
too, and,
God. Oh, Garrett, that's a good one. You know, every time they say that kids are supposed to learn the real names of their body and they're supposed to learn about their body parts and how babies are made and all that kind of stuff, every time that comes up, conservatives and religious right-wing people go absolutely fucking nuts because they think it's going to lead children to wanting to have, more sex than they should or whatever the deal is.
Wait,
right?
So because my mom called the vagina I can't even say it without laughing, a putchie.
No.
That's so close to pussy.
No.
Yeah, a putchie is very close to pussy.
Slippers in Polish or something. And a boy is a pishi. That means that I would have wanted to grow up and be sexual?
No. Had your mother sat down with you and said, okay, Christina, down below there you have a vagina when you were like 5, and the little boy has a penis, and you explain it. Now, that's the kind of school we went to, where you explain it so it isn't this dirty, hidden thing. It's made natural. The evangelicals and, of course, the conservatives have to go with it. Oh, my God, they go fucking nuts. They go completely berserk. But what research has found forever is the more uptight people are, the more something is, considered nasty or whatever. Certainly you can't wait to, find out what the deal is. I mean, I can remember my sister-in-law was a school teacher doing that with my niece and nephew who are now, grown up, married people. But a lot of people were horrified by that in New Orleans. They went, oh, my God, And because once my niece said at a birthday party, Mommy, my vagina itches, I thought my mother was going to have a fucking heart attack. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, my friends were there. Oh, and she came up and said, oh, vagina, I've never been so embarrassed. I said, well, Mom, what was she supposed to say? She was supposed to say, I feel funny in my TT or something.
TT?
Her TT, her something down there. I don't know what. Oh, my God.
What TT?
Now, Christina, you
Why
were raised...
Why would you call it pee-pee? Why would it be TT?
She called it a TT. I don't know.
I was raised Catholic, yes.
Okay. I'm going to my first communion. And, I know you've all heard this before, but I'm going to tell it again. So what? I tell the Lone Ranger story for 15 fucking years.
Number 1 ratings.
So my mom, for those of you who aren't Catholic, it's a big deal. You go into this box. It's dark. They open a little door, and the priest is shrouded, right, Christina? It's like behind a curtain or a little screen or something. And back then he would speak, go start Latin. He's praying for you, and all that. I'm little. I'm 7 years old, about to do my first communion, and you had to say what you did that was bad. Well, I would always rub my penis. I'd watch TV and I'd hump on my penis, and my mother would come in and say, don't, stop rubbing your TT.
How would she say it, though? She would say,
oh, God, John, stop all of that.
I got busted for that, too.
Oh, my God.
I got busted for that. Not with a penis, but...
Oh, no?
No.
So I go to confession, and I know that rubbing your penis is bad, right? And talking back to your mother or whatever. But I didn't know penis. I knew TT. So there's this priest. Now, these priests, when I was a kid... Guys would go into the priesthood, and girls too, would go in at 13 or 14. And there were millions of them all over the world. And they would go in, they'd never been with anybody, never had a date, nothing, and they would become priests. And now they're in the parish, and they're probably, 30 years old or whatever, and they don't know anything. So the door opens. I'm nervous as hell. I go, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. And he's going, Idomini, Espiriti, blah, 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 and I go, this is my first confession, right? And I'm at St. Dominic's on Harrison Avenue in New Orleans. It's still there. And I say, I talk back to my mother. I told my brother to shut up, and he's doing the whole deal. And I go, and I touch my TT. Like that. So the guy's in the middle of this, beseeching, God to forgive me, Domino. And he stops like that. And he goes, what was that, my child? And I said, I touched my TT. Like that. And he did not know what I was talking about. And now you're in this big kind of echo chamber of the church. The church is probably built, back in the 30s or whatever, and it's kind of echoey. It's kind of quiet. No one's talking, and the kids are lined up. So finally, he didn't think he heard me right. He goes, what is it? I said, I touched my TT! And it echoed. It echoed throughout fucking St. Dominic's like, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, ringing the fucking bell, right? And from what I understand, every little kid in line was like looking over their shoulder, And so when the priest, oh, quiet, my son, quiet. Do 2 Hail Marys and 2 All Fathers.
Touch my TT.
Whatever. So I get out of the thing, right? And I yelled really loud, and there was a little... So now I walk back to my house, and my mother says, oh, how was your first confession? Well, you're not supposed to tell because it's private, right? So you don't tell. So I said, well, I can't tell you what happened. Oh, my God. God isn't going to do anything to you. You're 7 years old. What happened in that confessional? And when I told my mother what I did, she laughed so hard, I almost had to give her administer to her. She could not get to the telephone fast enough, light a fucking cigarette. She called all of my aunts. She called every person. Oh, so John goes in there and he says, I touched my TT. And the priest said, I'm sorry, my child. I touched my TT. He yelled. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, my first confession. Now, this is a true story. When I was in New York and I'd gotten a divorce and everything else, I hadn't been to church in years, and I was hired on Mork and Mindy. It was a huge deal. Unbelievable. I was going to be on national TV. It was like the number 3 show in the world, right? So I decide, I didn't even have anyone to share it with, you know. I go to confession at St. Patrick's there, right?
Yeah, Cathedral. Yeah, St. Patrick's.
I'm walking by, and I'm overcome with emotion. They had just called me from Paramount. You got the show. You're going to be on the show with Robin Williams and Pam Dauber. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, was unbelievable, right? And I really couldn't share it with. I didn't really have friends I could share it with. I was a comic and a radio announcer. No one could even imagine that a guy had done this, right? I mean it. And I couldn't either, right? I've been in New York 2 years, and this thing happens. I decide to go to confession and to, you know, thank God for this incredible thing. And I go into St. Patrick's, and I kneel down. You know, here I am in my late 20s, right? And I had not been to confession in 10, 12 years, whatever it is. And I say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 10 years since my last confession, but something so incredible. And the guy goes, why haven't you been to confession? I said, well, I left the church, but something so, well, why did you feel the need to leave the church? And I said, well, it didn't fit into my life. And, what sort of life have you been living? And I'm thinking, okay, where is this going? He goes, have you been with women in this time? And I go, well, yeah. But Father, I want you to know that this incredible thing, and he goes, and in that time, have you known the flesh of men? I swear to God, the guy says this to me. And I go, the flesh of men? Now I'm sweating bullets, right? I'm in the confessional. This guy starts asking me how many times. Remember that, Christina? They would ask you how many times you did something?
Yeah.
How many women do you think you've been with in the 10 years? And I go, I have no idea. I don't know. And you know what? It was a terrible experience, and the guy was weird as far as I was concerned. And so I gave me whatever the penance was, and I never went back to church again.
You know what's
Never.
weird? I had to do the confessional because I became a godmother, so they forced me into all of that. And it's really weird giving it when you're an adult. Because what do you do that you think it's not so terrible? It's a sin, but it's not so terrible. So
Did you say I put a penis in my mouth?
I know. Like, what do you say? I cursed at my neighbor. I'm lying to the priest because I don't want to be like, I smoke pot. I gave a blowjob to my boyfriend. Like, what am I going to say?
I mean, this guy, when he says to me, how many women have you been with? I swear to God, it was almost like, I don't know what the number, in 10 fucking years, it had to be 200 fucking people. I don't know what it was. And they all seemed like they were having a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like a sin to me, But then he starts asking about guys. It was crazy. It was nuts.
People still do this?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Every
week?
Yeah.
I know a guy that works for a guy at a radio station, and his boss goes to Mass every day of the week. 7
That's
days.
how my grandmother was. And if she wasn't at Mass, it would be on television.
This
and
is a guy in a building.
grandmother-
This is a guy in a building in modern times, and his boss, and the guy goes to confession on Thursdays and Saturdays. And my friend says to me, can you imagine working for somebody like this?
No.
How many mistakes in a day do you think I fucking make? Okay? According to this fucking asshole. Okay, we'll be right back. The Duggar family has just endorsed Rick Santorum. I swear to God. And if you don't think Rick Santorum, who's a Catholic asshole, isn't an asshole now, then, unfucking believable. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye. Christina, no penises tonight. No penises. No TTs in your mouth. Okay? Don't sin.
You know my baby.
Jay, how many women have you slept with?
It's got to be fucking thousands. I don't know. I'm not bragging. It just, hundreds at radio stations alone, Garrett, off the request line. I mean, I would they call me up, parking lot, gulp, 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 that was it. What a life.